All right, ladies and gents, welcome. We are here for the first semifinal of the Resurgence tourney. Shout out to Jordan. We'll be talking a lot about him today. Jordan, pro player, also put in all the effort to host this event, and Jordan is delivered so far, my friend. Here we've got Arabia. ACCM beat Doubt 3-2. I'm going to actually catch up to live time. He beat Doubt 3-2 with an incredible game 5. And I was so impressed with his performance. And I think he played so well that he could beat Yo today. Whereas a few years back, I definitely would say Yo 4-0, 4-1. I'm still sticking with Yo 4-2 because he is Mr. Reliable. But Mr. Reliable is going to get lamed over here. ACCM is a Vietnamese player playing as the Vietnamese, which makes him twice as strong. And you know exactly where your opponent's town center is with Vietnamese. And laming is allowed. So ACCM was very unfortunate not to see this Rhino, but he's already taken the 2 goats there as he's looking for more at Yo's base. Yo beat Say My Name 3-1, and I was just talking about it. Say My Name had an extraordinary tournament. He did beat Tato 3-2, so you can't say that Tato is a poor player. You can't say anything along those lines. We have to respect Say My Name for that. I think that looking back to the series with Say My Name and Yo, it's a little tricky for me to get a feel because the way I saw it anyways, as Yo was trying to protect his rhinos, I felt like Yo could have been taken to a 5th game in that series. And normally I would say, well, if Yo was taken to a 5th game by Say My Name, ACCM is a slightly better player there. He is the best player in Vietnam these days, and I think that ACCM could take Yo to a final game here as well. We'll see, though. A reminder that the Civ settings for this event, they're very different. You get to draft the civilizations or pick a pool of civilizations for the enemy. What's going to be a standout here is this is a best of 7. Actually, I need to just quickly do this. It's probably bothering others. There we go. This is a best of 7. And so that means there's more civilizations selected, which means there are some slightly better civilizations that players receive. So you have a lot of middle-of-the-road civilizations, but there's a few other civilizations, like, which one was it? Mongols. Mongols, I had not seen this entire tourney. Now in a best of 7, Mongols was given to the opponent. So we'll see how it plays out. Interesting move from ACCM, though. He decided not to try and steal a Rhino. He just took the goats, and he was happy with that. And I think Yo is going to be okay here. Yo's going to push in his first Ostrich. But yeah, as the series, is going to heat up, and we'll have a couple hours of content here. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's shown up so far in the live stream, but also everyone, of course, later on watching those videos. Smelly YouTube out there. Appreciate it. It's cool stuff to be able to finish a long day of Age of Empires, go to the videos, go to the VODs, and just look through some of the comments that maybe I missed as I was focused on the games. Don't lose a villager. Okay. Sometimes they won't garrison the weak one there. I got to be relaxed, though, because someone told me not to be too exciting today because they're currently trying to write a thesis. So I gotta be relaxed. Can't get excited. So we have ACCM versus Yo at the first semifinal. If you're wondering what the second semifinal is, I'm going to say that in about a minute. Some people might not want spoilers yet. By the time this is ever seen, people would have had an opportunity to see the earlier sets, but I'll just wait a minute to talk about that one. But looking at the maps, I think both maps are actually top tier. If Yo gets some walls down here, he's got a very safe golden berry position. And similar thing for ACCM, wall here. Gold safe. I think the berries will be pretty fine as well. I actually am a big fan of this Arabia version. I feel like, and I know, there's a big conversation about walls at times, but walling is a part of the game. Like, walling is a strategic thing. It's villager time and resource investment. And, I'm not saying it's the most perfect version of Arabia I've ever seen, but I like the fact that games aren't ending in early feudal because one person's got a forward gold in the hill. You know what I mean? Like, a little bit more relaxed. Players get to think about what they can do over the long term of the game, which is what, in my opinion, the game should be about. But you still obviously have to keep your opponent honest and be aggressive. Okay, so we've got 2 lumber camps here for ACCM. Right now, unless he goes to gold, this looks like it actually might be a scout play for him. And Yo might be tempted to do the same. Sicilians get more food on their farms after each farm upgrade. So it's a great Civ to go scout build because typically you're getting that upgrade. And then Vietnamese, they don't have to spend wood on their eco upgrades, which might actually be why ACCM only has 9 on wood. I think he's going to end up with 10 in a second, so maybe he didn't think about it that much. But he's going to have a lot more wood floating because he's just going to be spending the food in his eco upgrades. And while Vietnamese might not have the best cav ever, you can always start off with scouts for some mobility and scouting, and then switch into something later on. I'd be shocked if at this point he does anything other than scouts, because normally you would have gone to gold already. And here comes Yo. Yo just scouting the back of ACCM's base, looking around, seeing if there's a hole. There's no hole. And then at home, Yo's already making the stable. ACCM active with his scout. And he didn't see it. But I think he saw the uptime, so I think he has an idea now. Super safe for ACCM. Super safe. Like, he has walled a lot faster here than Yo. Now, guys, I don't know how well-informed you guys are in your build orders, but I used to have a rule of thumb when it comes to scout builds. And I think it applies still today, and it might be slightly different, but this is it. 20 pop scouts, you do not wall until you hit fuel age. 21 pop scouts, you can justify having 1 villager floating to wall. So it means you have the same amount of villagers working with both builds, but you go up to a few age later because you got that 1 villager walling. And ACCM maybe did something that was a little bit more than that. He maybe had like 1.5 villagers walling or something. But clearly the faster uptime for Yo hasn't done too much just yet, and probably won't do too much. But at the same time, ACCM doesn't have the army yet to really be able to contest Yo. And Yo might be able to get some walls down. This is going to be annoying for him. Yo is going to have to track any scouts that go out. All right. That's pretty much it. Now, it's not every day you see scout v scout. This is not something you see pretty much at all nowadays. And that is be on ranked Arabia, which I'd say is a little bit more punishing. This is super safe, as I've been saying super a lot today. And so, normally, like what you have to do in Yo's position is you make enough scouts to keep your opponent honest. And then you try and protect your villagers. And here's ACCM. ACCM is looking for a gap. ACCM is going to find this gap. I feel like a lot of players at mid to lower elo would just have, if they were in Yo's position, their scouts would be attacking the walls, which wouldn't necessarily be bad at that elo, but obviously in this instance you would lose a villager then and be very frustrated. So Yo, with his experience, sees the scouts, will place his blacksmith here, and he'll just move his scouts over to the other side. ACCM could, sense there's an opportunity here. You have the spearman coming forward. Another scout's been created. I like that. But the big thing we got to pay attention to is their macro. And ACCM maybe even assuming that this is full walled at this point. So he's just attacking the wall. But he is also sending the spearman this way. But I think this is going to be awkward for Yo because Yo doesn't even have a spearman. Yeah, look at this. ACCM sees the Vil and now sees this is open. And here come the scouts. They'll engage against each other here. And, good engagement for Yo. Very good engagement for Yo. Now ACCM just, well, he doesn't really have to think twice about taking a fight. But, he is going to be fighting at a disadvantage here. Now, better micro for ACCM, though. Look how many weak scouts are in here. And it turns around pretty quick. Still, though, I mean, I'm surprised that Yo didn't make 1 spearman. He's really trying to get by without doing that. This is going to be annoying. I mean, you could easily lose a villager to 1 spearman, 1 scout. And ACCM, he went for the small walls here. There were opportunities for big walls. He didn't go for the big walls. ACCM went for the small walls. Yo went for the big walls, and Yo getting punished a little bit here. Just, like, this, to me, feels like an unnecessary wall when everything you have is over here, right? You can wall this way and this way. Would have been done already, similar to what ACCM did. So just the safer plays for ACCM. ACCM got his Vil kill, and so both players have gone scouts. And wow, is ACCM about to click up as well? Wow, that's disgusting, man. What an uptime this is going to be. He just needs a 10 gold, sadly. But that is a crazy uptime. Obviously, having killed the Vil is fantastic anyways. I wonder if that comes back to not spending food on your eco upgrades. Also, guys, I think we're going to see Vietnamese cav archers. If we are seeing an archer range at this time, The archer range will be completed about halfway to Castle Age, so it doesn't make sense to make archers at that point and upgrade them to crossbow. Vietnamese archers do get more HP. That does also apply to the Cav archers. Plus, Vietnamese get bloodlines, which would then give them plus 20 HP. So I think we're going to see Cav archers for ACCM, and I really like that decision. You know, you probably don't want to get into a knight battle against the Sicilians, because the Sicilian knights are stronger in the long term. You then also probably don't want to ever have to go into any type of counter unit. If you can't go knights, you don't want to go crossbow maybe. Gotta be Cav archer. Now this is where it gets interesting. He could commit to 3 ranges. I have this okay, a lion's just been brought over here. I don't know what just happened. I have this issue where I will go 3 ranges though, and then I won't have the resources to add town centers and add a lot of economy. So I think ACCM is just going to be real casual about this. And chat, when do you go Cav archer? Like, when is a good time to go Cav archer? Besides when you're up against a slow civilization. Like, when can you justify it? Is there a rule of thumb for you guys? I talk about it a lot. Just want to make sure you're paying attention. I love the positioning of the ranges, too. He has hid this from Yo. Yo is looking to find out what his opponent will do. He probably sees the scout has no upgrades and is like, Open map. Okay, open map's nice. But it's when you know you're going to be Castle Age first. That's the answer I was looking for. Because you need time to mass it. If you try and go Cav archers and your opponent is in Castle Age faster than you, you're just stuck trying to mass these things, which are pretty expensive. And you're not going to have the time. And look at ACCM. Second town center, second wood, and second farm upgrade, and Bodcanero. And now he shows the Cav archers. ACCM's got a massive lead. Also, he's got a monastery, too. I think he's going to try and snag the relics. So Yo is going to go... Well, he's added 2 scouts, which is interesting. And Yo's going to go knights. And Yo is going to need to boom here. Sicilians do build their town centers faster. The best thing you can do in Yo's position is go knights and scorpions. A few scorpions is decent in combination with the knights against Cav archers. I would never say it's 100% ideal, though. And Yo clearly struggling with the timing of things. ACCM's Cav archers. They are going to be pushed back, though, because, again, low numbers of knights can push back low numbers of Cav archers, which is why you need to be Castle Age faster when going CA. But, again, this build order has been incredibly clean. Like, this is AI-worthy, or AI-level of play here from ACCM. I mean, okay, why insult the man and say AI? Because clearly there's no AI that's as good as some of these pros. I think you know what I mean, though. It feels bot-like. Every single little thing was perfect. There's a TC, and there's a TC for Yo. Now, what's good for Yo is his farms, even though capture rate doesn't show how much food is on the farms these days, I gotta remind me to message them in between games, actually. I'll ask them about that. His farms have so much more food income on them. So, what's going to happen in the mid-game with Sicilians is he's going to start to float a lot more wood because he's not reseeding farms like you would normally be doing with any other civ. And he's getting his wood upgrade and his farm upgrade. So, like, these farms here, these farms are going to last a long time. I forget how much food you have on a Sicilian farm after Heavy Plow. But I think it's like 500 food or something ridiculous. Okay. Yo didn't go for any upgrades, but the scout there snipes a monk, which is impressive. 48 villagers for both, but I prefer the Cav archer play, and I prefer ACCM's position right now. And even with the Vil count being even, Wheelbarrow has been completed by ACCM, so he is most definitely ahead here. But it's incredible to me how Yo's not taking any damage against like all these Cav archers, and he doesn't even have upgrades on his knights. And he's actually gonna make it happen. Look, he kills the scout there for ACCM, and now these knights are killing Cav archers. Like, what in the world, Mr. Yo? How are you getting this value? That said, it's 1 relic right now for ACCM. He's going to probably get 2 in a second and 3, so the long run will be good for him. Also has a scout here. Look how good these guys are, man. These guys are top-notch. And he's just waiting for a monk to show up there. Maybe one of those games, though, where Yo starts to realize relics are not going to win me this game, and I have to win in the early Imperial Age. It definitely has that feel to it. And sometimes what you'll see, if you want to play that way, and it's maybe a little too greedy here, is even a 4th town center. I know you've been doing this for a while, but the sheer amount of game knowledge that you have about different civs blows my mind. Well, you would hope so after, 30,000 hours or something. I think it's really important that, like, it's been really important for me over the years to also play a lot and play at a high level, because you can't just gain the knowledge when you just, like, watch or, like, look at the game. You got to experience the small little things. And I've always tried my best with that, so thank you. Okay, Lion. Oh, how dare you, ACCM. The Lion wanted to kill. Sad times. But anyways, Yo is going to go into a defensive castle. Like, he's worried about pressure, and Sicilians build their castles faster. ACCM is really starting to heat things up. Yo wasn't able to scout the siege workshop, guys, but if you ever see a house in the middle of the map, you probably know there's a villager there for something. And it's not going to be a monastery at this stage. It's almost always going to be a siege workshop. Still only one villager lost for Yo. That was the villager in feudal age. Impressive that he hasn't lost more. But yeah, he's going to know that there's siege out here. And I think he's looking to confirm that right now. But he still hasn't really seen it. And so there's a chance he gets surprised by this. That knight needs to be deleted. And that knight's going to... Oh my god! Okay, I thought it was actually going to get converted before it died. But it kills the monk and dies. That works. And I think that's what he was looking for. He was looking all around for the siege workshop. Now he sees the outposts. And now he's going to be thinking, wait, what? And okay, now Yo will know. Oh, that was a unfortunate misclick for ACCM. Still going to work out. He'll still take out a Scorpion. And Yo's going to have to fall back and choose a castle spot. Now, I think castling here is the play, because it protects your gold. And then you can always abandon this wood line. I think that's the play here for Yo. But it's not easy to decide. ACCM with such a clean start to this series. He's sitting at home with 3 relics. Would love to see him try and grab this one. Yo's got a scout there now. Yo also has a scout here too, just waiting for those monks. And Yo landed a shot, but it didn't really amount to much. And he's placed the castle here. What the? I guess he wants the extra gold, but he really needed his mangonel to pay off then. Any other civ, this is the dumbest mistake you'll ever see from Yo. With Sicilians, though, it's still going to happen. Ridiculous. Just Sicilian things, castle will go up. In the end, he did lose about 10 villagers, though. And Yo gets a big shot. Yo gets the castle up, and Yo's now on the way to Imp. So, I mean, for Yo, his worry was the long-term gold. He didn't just want this gold. He wanted this gold as well, so went for a bit of greed. Now, does ACCM notice there's a scout here? And does Yo put his scout on attack stance? Yup, Yo kills it. Lovely play from Yo. Because if this goes long-term and it's 3-2 with relics, that's as even as it really gets, right? I mean, technically, 2-2 is as even as it gets, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like, there's usually everyone's going to have some. And so ACCM's probably like, maybe I should look for the other relic. And waiting right here is that scout, but he doesn't actually know where the relic is, which helps him. Unless he goes now, or will he see the scout? If he's going to redirect that monk, he'll see the scout, actually. You'd expect him to actually send something over there. He's going to come forward with a castle. I don't know if this is the correct play for ACCM. I don't know if he knows Yo was up. If he knew Yo was up, this would be seen as a mistake, I believe. I say that because Yo will take this as an invitation to Treb. And Yo is going to be happy to take that castle out, because then he could just build his next castle in that area. That said, ACCM's got a massive economy. ACCM's got the relics. ACCM actually added the 4th town center, which I'm a big fan of. And I don't think there's a big reason why you shouldn't continue to make cav archers with Vietnamese. After Bloodlines, he'll have 80 HP in Castle Age. I think someone will have to remind me if they get heavy cav archer. But they get full blacksmith upgrades in armor and attack. This is a great cav archer civilization. Obviously, they have great arbalest and skirmishers, but like anything that's an archer, Vietnamese are just rock solid at. Yo is probably a little concerned, right? Because these cav archers could break through here shortly. And he's adding more stables. He's going for Cavalier. Sicilians do have a unique tech, and that is called Hallberg. And that unique tech, as we're starting to see stonewalls from ACCM, which I love. We'll talk about that more. Hallberg upgrade gives him additional armor. He's Cavalier. So one of the tankiest Cavalier in the game, simply due to that armor. But it's also not a cheap tech. I feel like the timing here for Yo has to be crucial. He didn't even make any trebuchets, so I think he's saving up for that unique tech. He wants to be able to take fights underneath the castle. Oh my god, that was a shot right before Bloodlines, guys. Right before Bloodlines, those were 60 HP. Now they're 80 HP. That was the time to strike. And in 20 seconds, the upgrades are going to start coming in for ACCM. And Yo is going to push out. Just, to be honest with you, I still feel like ACCM's position is so strong. This scout from Yo, by the way, going to get a kill. Obviously, it's got upgrades now. Battle Elephant is an interesting choice here for ACCM. But these upgrades are going to come in, plus you've got the Castle Fire. So, guys, did you watch my cast of Say My Name and Yo yesterday? If you did not, rewatch the Sahara game. I believe it was the final game they played. And I talked about this with Yo. He's always going to skip over this army and go for the raids first, and then his new army is going to go for the main army. And what it does is it forces ACCM to send army back, which means the middle position for ACCM is less fortified and less strong. Now, problem is, ACCM was starting to stonewall. Problem for ACCM, he didn't complete the stonewall. So the Cavalier are going to get through. Now watch ACCM. He has to send something back. Usually, you have to. That said, Yo has not had stone, guys. He doesn't have the stone. He hasn't been mining stone, actually. He's not even repairing his castle. And ACCM is definitely thinking about sending some things back. Notice how stubborn he's being about it, though. He's like, nope, 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 nope. I have to stay here. It's better for me to stay here and kill these Cavalier with my elephants and with my Cav Archers. And I actually love that move for ACCM. He just drops a castle instead. He says, screw it. I'll keep everything here. I won't do what Yo wants me to do. And after all of this, Yo's going to be down a castle. Yo is probably going to lose this Treb. And despite how strong these Cavalier are, I don't know if Yo is going to have the gold for the long term. He did get out here to this gold, so he has it. But the Cav Archers have just killed everything in this game. And I just don't see how Yo is going to be able to last if he can't take his 2 forward golds and if he can't push back that castle. We might be close to the GG here. With ACCM taking the first game. So yeah, the walls weren't up for ACCM yet. I think there was a misclick there as he tried to click the gate and I think clicked him to the gold. But the Elephant Edition was an interesting one. Just a bit of a meat shield, I guess. ACCM played so well. In Feudal Age, obviously, he killed that one villager, which is nice. But his macro behind the Feudal Age was what impressed me. Opening with Cav Archers, the getting the relics, the adding the town centers. It was just virtually flawless. Yo didn't have a bad game. And Yo didn't have the worst of maps. Obviously, both players had some resources that were exposed and forward. Like, this gold could have been an issue if Yo had map control, but it was ACCM who had the map control. And yeah, Yo doesn't want to call it because he's a big fighter, but this is over. This is over. First game of the day, maybe wants to warm up a little bit. I do not see how there's any possibility of a comeback here for Yo. These Cav Archers aren't even in final form. And I think something that someone said in chat was correct. I think they don't get heavy... Or sorry, they do get heavy Cav Archer, but they just don't get Parthian tactics. Which, to me, is fine. That's fine. I don't see that as an issue here. Cavaliers, probably the best thing you can go with Sicilians. And, you know, their unique unit is never something you really talk about in a positive light. It's just Cavalier. And I'm really trying to hold back from complaining about that aspect because I remember being so excited when the Sicilians were introduced. And I thought, wow, as we see Chatras for more HP on these Shonkers, I thought, wow, we have a really unique unit. And we have a really unique Civ that can do this unique thing. And then they got Cavalier updates or upgrades. Gotta love that addition from the devs, but I'm holding back. I'm holding back. I will not complain about that yet again. I've complained about it 1,000 times. It's not like me to complain. Also, the new unique tech for Vietnamese is fantastic. I think it's still called paper money. But it gives you a gold trickle for all your lumberjacks. And I don't have the exact numbers memorized on that, but that would be a tech that ACCM should maybe consider here. I don't think he necessarily needs it, though. It's interesting, though. I mean, these elephants... I wonder what the fight would have looked like if he didn't have the elephants earlier. He's got 370 HP on these bad boys now. And it really looked like those elephants soaked up a lot of those the Cavalier damage. So his Cav Archers were able to kill them earlier. Guys, Yo's at 90 pop. And he's got some gold over here. ACCM's been looking around for its expansion. This is an area that's just going to be taken up by elephants, most likely. Yo is trying his best. He's actually sending a Cav over here. But, yo, you're at 85 pop, my friend. It's 85 population to 100. You just do not have the economy to make anything more. And there goes the TC. Here goes the TC. Yo's got this TC. He's got a new TC over here. He's going to try and attack this one, but... What? Yo's going to drop a castle here, too? He's crazy. I mean, he is trying. He's not, like, dragging the game out and just not resigning. He's trying with everything he's got. And that castle might even complete. Nah, it probably won't complete. Even being Sicilians, there's not enough villagers there. I think ACCM will be able to pick it off. Yo with a little doubt castle here. Trying to micro with his villagers. ACCM obviously could just treb it down or use the elephants. The villagers are going to be killed. And here we're going to see the GG. Yo is a fighter, man. Yo is a fighter. But it was just a clinical game from ACCM. There's no other way to say it. Scout Rush was good. A few Lage macro to get to Castle Age was perfect. Yo had some great plays as well, but I think getting to Castle Age and utilizing the Cav Archers was really what won the game. And Yo finally taps out. Man, it took a while there. He's at 60 population versus the 170 from ACCM. And this is what I said. ACCM has really stepped it up. He beat Doubt yesterday. He now has started off the series with a good 1-0 versus Mr. Yo. ACCM player is no joke. He's looking good. I knew, guys, ACCM was going to be a favorite to go far in the tournament once he beat me 3-0. I was like, oh my God. He beat me? He beat a caster? He's going on easily. Actually, that would make me look really good if ACCM wins the whole thing. But anyways, let's leave me out of this. I just had to make a joke, and it was a pretty bad one. 191 to 147 for the KD. And the eco is probably insane. And here you'll look at the economy. And yeah, it was more wood, more food, more gold, more of every resource. And I think also you almost need to have more eco with Sicilians because Cavalier, they kind of run in and they die against Cav Archers. Cav Archers can hit and run. Those Cav Archers, I don't know how many kills this group has. This group has 31. But he had a big ball, right? It was tough for Yo to really get in close. You know, I kind of question Yo delaying the trebuchets. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. But I guess he delayed the trebuchets because he wanted Cavalier numbers and he wanted the Hallberg upgrade. But he was an imp about 2 minutes faster. I think maybe his way to get out of this hole would have been to make a couple trebuchets and fight with Cavalier without the unique tech. I don't know if you can consider that questionable, but certainly now you have to think back and say, maybe taking out this castle is your priority. And you have the time with the faster Imperial Age to make the siege. Sure, your fight will be slightly less effective, but at least the castle's not there. And then maybe you're able to get Hallberg later on because you can take these golds. But it was a tricky spot that ACCM put him in. Not going to really talk about it too much more. But hey, we've got Yo playing as the Portuguese here. We've got ACCM playing as the Malay. This is game number 2, best of 7, my friends. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening in. And looking forward to this. Very much looking forward to this. I think Frisia has been a map that hasn't really delivered yet. There's been a lot of fast games on Frisia. But I think if anyone was going to give give the map a long game, this would probably be the one. Malay have some bonuses to work with here. Malay are overall pretty weak on land maps. So that's probably why Yo selected Malay to the pool that would be given to ACCM. But there is a water map here, and this map is going to be fantastic for the Malay dock vision. There's plenty of fish. When you dock back here, you'll be able to see it. Now, if ACCM were to think about this, I don't even know if it's worth it, but you could actually justify docking here or here And because you can walk on this, you could actually use your villager to drop off the food at the dock. Normal maps are going to have a shorefish, and so you do that with the shorefish. But on this map, you can't do any shorefish. So, I mean, just a thought. I think we'll just dock the shoreline normally. And then we've got Portuguese. And Portuguese, they have cheap gold units all around. Fantastic archers. Cavalier they could go for. Got some options there. I think Portuguese are a more well-rounded civilization than Malay. But what Malay really have to utilize is their fast up times. Advancing faster to the next age is kind of their identity. And then maybe if the game goes on really long, both civs are going to have some janky stuff they can do if they start to run out of gold. Now, that would be interesting. Don't get your hopes up. But if it goes really late with these civs, you have Malay that get force levy. So their swordsman line doesn't cost gold. And then you have Portuguese that can make Vitorias, which can give you endless amounts of resources, though very slow. Looking at the golden stone positions on the front here. Both players have golden stones. But this is much worse for Yo. So I'm not sure if this is really the fairest thing here. To have two wolves. I guess it's on both sides. But I'm looking at ACCM's gold here. And even his other golds are easy to access. It's like Yo's had 2 or 3 wood lines combined. Going to make it really tough for Yo if you were to lose access to this main gold. And being up against Malay, it's a dangerous combination, I'd say. Okay, Yo sees these sheep. He's going to try and take them. Remember game number 1, ACCM stole some sheep. Yo's definitely losing this scout war, but ACCM wants his sheep, and Yo's going to go, he's going to boink it. Boink! Knew it. Does he get this one? Boink! He's like, fine. Nobody gets the sheep. That said, though, Yo having a weak scout does really hurt. He has not been able to scout much, guys. He hasn't scouted where the resources are for his opponent. Hasn't scouted the dock position either. In fact, wait a second. We haven't seen it. Oh, we have seen a dock. Okay. Again, amazing vision from the Malay dock. And you see what he's trying to do? He's trying to take the food, but you can't do that, which is why I mentioned maybe docking here would make sense. I think Yo could do it, actually. I don't know why he's placing a palisade here right now. If there was a shorefish, you would place a palisade. I'm very confused. Okay, he's now chopping the tree there, which is just as confusing. And he's making... Oh, it's a dock block. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's not a full wall, even if you walls in the front, because units could run this way. But technically, you could block with fishing ships. That's not bad. Is there a possibility? I'm seeing all these responses. Is there a possibility to remove the T90 message in Facebook gaming app? Oh, you mean like the pinned comment? The message that I put there that says welcome? If that ends up being an issue and you can't, like, minimize those things, let me know. I'll stop pinning stuff. You're the first person to ever mention that to me. ACCM has the strong scout, right? He's also going to advance faster to the next stage. Getting a text from Lorena, just making sure everything's okay. She's been traveling today. I assume everything's good. Never mind. Not worth bringing up. She's all good. She's all good. And then Scout here for ACCM, or for Yo, sorry, is just going to be annoying. But I still prefer ACCM's position. We'll see what he ends up doing here. I think what I've been seeing an awful lot of is one dock and fire ships from that one dock, and then going into archers, man-at-arms, and whatnot on land. I think if you go double dock on water, obviously that could be strong to win water, but then you could always lose land, and that's going to be a big focus here. Again, thing for Yo is his gold, as he's now going to his gold, and now he's got a scout attacking his fishing ships as well, and Yo can't turn around with that scout to go attack ACCM because ACCM has more HP. When are you coming back to Twitch? Not even on my mind, my friend. Not even on my mind. I get that question a lot. I don't know why. I don't get that question a lot. Militia for ACCM. This is a bit late. A normal man-at-arm build, you're going to want to go 3 militia while you're on the way to feudal. So maybe it was almost too fast. And you could tell, and this is what's awkward about the Malay, is you've got... You don't know what... Okay, I can't speak all of a sudden. Let me calm down. The timing's just not ideal. Now, the 2 militia are still going to trap this villager, so now it's worth it. Man-at-Arm not being in, not a big deal at all. Man, ACCM has been amazing so far this series. And also unfortunate stuff for Yo. Like losing that scout war earlier, and then also having this forward gold. But ACCM taking advantage of the opportunities he has, and he's going to have a fire galley looping around, so will Yo. That will maybe be a 50-50 fight, which is rare. And fortunately for Yo, the range is a little faster. Now, unfortunate for Yo is that his deer is also forward. Now, that's the same for ACCM, but ACCM has secured that position. So he's placed a mill, he's taking all that food. And Yo is just, he knows he needs the food. Look at this. Yo is trying to shoot these things so he can eat them. And the militia is getting the first hit. Actually, looks like 2 of these could still be eaten. But Yo is about to run out of food underneath his town center. And he's got to place a mill now on nothing. This is amazing, man, for ACCM. Honestly, the more I think about it, Malay might be one of the better civilizations for this map. I mean, they're certainly looking like it. I have seen Portuguese win and whatnot, but first time I've seen Malay on this. And ACCM has made everything look so easy so far. This will be interesting. The militia are actually coming over here. I don't know if they're trying to intercept the fire, but can you imagine? I guess he's also just trying to distract that archer at the moment so he can get his own archers out. Yo is getting fletching, same as ACCM, looking to upgrade their range units. We'll have the range units on the front for both. But preferring the position for the Vietnamese pro so far. That said, good work from Yo to clear up everything. And Yo hasn't taken that many losses. He lost the 1 Vil. It's 2-2 KD. He is going to come in here, though, and be unable to do anything. Because ACCM, you can just defend it. That should be fine. Militia being super annoying, though. So I talked about transitions a lot when ACCM beat down. I talk about transitioning into farms, and oh, man, Yo! He didn't patrol in, guys. He also wouldn't have had the numbers in the first place, and he's getting smacked here. He's getting absolutely smacked. Kills an archer, loses 4 units in the process. And now his gold's on the front. And we know from the first game that Yo is a fighter. He's not going to want to call the GG early, so don't even put that in your mind. But, like, holy crap, this is horrible for him. Now, he does have the stone, so he could tower. But there's no way Yo's going to do any damage to ACCM. ACCM clears this. 7-3 KD now. He might even consider sending his fires forward to kill Yo's fish. It's got to be tempting to tower that. It's got to be so tempting to walk forward and drop a tower there. But maybe it's just not worth it. Like, ACCM seems to be a little faster with the aggression. He pays a little bit more attention to every single detail. That's what the vibe I'm getting so far. And every time Yo tries to get some type of counter in or counter damage, ACCM's always there too. Now, this is kind of unfortunate. I think ACCM is going to look at this and say, whoops. Because he's just let Yo know. I just combined Yo and No and made it No. But he kind of let him know he's here. So that would be a mistake. Other thing is Yo is working off of 2 ranges right now. ACCM is working off of just 1. Which is fantastic for his economy. And he's using the wood to dock and add fishing ships on the other side. So, got to think with the Malay and already having an eco lead that ACCM will be the much faster person to the Castle Age. But if Yo is able to kill this army and get a counterattack in, ACCM could have some problems. TC idle time for Yo, 40 seconds. TC idle time for ACCM, 16 seconds. Yo, though, is starting to get his numbers up a little bit. Man, ACCM's micro is still so good. The thing is, he's going into a fight against Yo with confidence, too. I think that's a big thing. He's like, I got this. I've got this. Also, Fire Galley's coming in. Yo has to make a desperate demo. ACCM could start clearing fish. Keep in mind, he already has amazing fishing ships at home. He's got 6 fishing ships versus 4. Which might not seem like a lot, but it really helps. After you've killed villagers, too. A little unfortunate to see that ACCM didn't continue in here. I can understand it, though. He's on the gold with the skirmisher. He's on the woodline with an archer. He's now using only skirmishers to try and push Yo's skirmisher or archers. This is just so unbelievably awkward for Yo as ACCM even backs away with that archer. Also goes in with the fire galleys. I think Yo's fishing ships were looking for more fish, so that's unfortunate. He does have a demo in there, and that might help him out here. ACCM super close to clicking up. He's actually bought a little bit of food here. The demo just went off for Yo. Yo will be fine, but these fishing ships have not been working. And this might be a really fast game. We might see the GG at 21 minutes here. Yo unable to track this fire properly. Still trying to react to this annoying micro from ACCM. ACCM will be up at around 21 minutes, like I said. And I think he's played everything right. I would say make another fire or two if I were him. You just want to make sure that if this ever comes over, you're defended. But he's got double archer range here in the middle. And it's not just going to be skirms with a faster castle. It's going to be crossbows. He has a lot of archers now, too. So this tournament has been interesting when it comes to the civs because we aren't seeing civilizations that we would see in a normal tournament. But there have always been civilizations that are just like 1 or 2 spots behind the ideal pick all these years. And Malay is one of them. I mean, Portuguese, we probably have seen Portuguese more in tournaments than the Malay, historically, to be honest. But, man, he used the faster feudal to use the militia. He used the faster castle age now to go for siege, to pressure the gold, and to get crossbow and bodkin. He's playing fantastic, man. And there goes Yo. I think Yo's going to try and get a castle down eventually. He's back here on Golden Stone. He's going to need one, man. He already is towering here. Such a good play from Yo. And beginning to like Yo's chances a little more now. Just because of that tower. But I think wood could still be an issue for him on either side. And I think it's very realistic that Yo could just lose that tower to the siege that's coming. Oh, God. ACCM's going for a ram. Okay. The ram edition can sometimes look really bad, but other times look really good. Because what you don't want is for your opponent to make siege and then just take out your ram, and then your ram can't do anything except roll back home. But with this timing, ramming down the range might be decent. I remember ACCM was the one who would always go for 1 mangonel and then a ram. It was interesting. Risky stuff, man. Risky stuff. There could have been a demo coming out of there. But ACCM is just going to go past here. And look at his vision, guys. Look at his scouting. He knows about the wood line. He sat a crossbow there. He's now going to try and take out this range. He's going to sit crossbows here. Yo has had to tower. ACCM should know Yo has that back there. But to me, it doesn't look like that was necessarily on his mind. He's trying to focus down the skirms, and Yo has no choice but to show him he's back here and run towards the tower. ACCM a little late to reacting there. Doesn't lose any units, though. Is taking out the range. I think the ram is paid off now. And now he's got the mangonel. And he's adding the second town center. So this guy's insane right now. Needs to keep his crossbows alive. Yo will want elite skirm, but Yo's at the limit with so many different resources. He doesn't have enough stone to make a castle, which he wanted. He has to make siege right away. He has to get elite skirm right away. He can't do both. If he had a little bit more gold, he could do both, actually. But he's just off getting the wood to get elite skirm. Maybe he's thinking he doesn't need it. ACCM here. Bit of a slip up, but it's because he's pushing in here. And maybe reacting over here to protect his fish. So he does lose those crossbows. And Yo is still getting closer to dropping a castle. So if Yo can get a couple siege shots here and drop a castle, he will have wood, he will have gold, he will have stone. Again, like at this stage, wouldn't it be better to have 2 mangonels instead of a ram and a mangonel? Like you could have still used your siege against the archer range. I don't know. I never am a big fan of the early ram edition because there's a point where it's always useless. And I think especially in this situation, which he might not have known when he made it, when Yo's trying to save up for a castle, the ram is definitely going to be less effective. But, oh, man, ACCM's going to dive the tower. And I think Yo notices that. Now, will ACCM lose this? He does not. He needs to hold a presence here because otherwise the castle will go up there. Micro continues. So many villagers went down. ACCM's got a 30 vill lead, but now Yo's going to drop a castle. All-in organ guns and siege can kill melee, okay? So as much as we have to sit here and say 64 eco versus 39, oh my god, that looks bad. As much as that is the case, if there was ever a unit that you would have to bring it back, it might be the organ gun. And you have to focus on full siege, full organs. And for ACCM, who has 24 villagers in queue, he almost has as many villagers in queue as ACCM has eco, or that Yo has eco, excuse me. For ACCM, you just need a castle. You get a castle defensively and you're fine, but oof. This is throwable here. This is throwable. I have lost games in ACCM's position more times than I would like to admit. And oh no. Also, Archer's looping in. Telling you, man, and it's also real easy for Yo. He's got 1 TC, 1 Siege Workshop, 1 Castle. He just focuses on all that. For ACCM, he's got to manage his eco and balance things. I think it's also possible to just defend this with Guard Tower if you're really concerned. But, oh, why be concerned? Yo using the skirmishers here. He's going to try his best to take the siege out. Just focusing on the crossbows right now. I mean, Yo is never going to get elite skirm at this point, so he's getting as much value as possible. Oh, and the fire comes in. No way, dude. That was actually really well done from Yo. It was very well done, and he might be able to take this one next. Thing is, though, the eco difference is insane. And Yo's going to add a second town center now, but that's it. Keep in mind, organ guns are a siege unit, right? So it's not a unit, as Yo should pull back with these two. Well played. It's not a unit that you can just convert like you could convert a knight with monks. You need to get redemption first. But I think having the crossbows and having mangonels is still enough to just hold this off for the time being. It's not a number of organ guns. It's really going to terrify ACCM right now. Though he obviously is going to be scared nonetheless. Like, you're up against Yo, you never know. He's super close to being able to drop a castle. I'm a little surprised he didn't go back here to this stone and gold. Maybe he's just tunnel visioned right now. But once he gets a castle on the front, he could just go up to the Imperial Age, and I think he's got this one. Yo is a little light on the mangonels, and that has to probably be due to the fact that organ guns cost the same resource. So, see the castle foundation, you see the villagers. But in this situation, 5 organ guns is not going to be enough to deny this. Oh my... Well, you have to choose if you're Yo. You have to choose to kill the villagers, which you have to do because if that castle goes up, you probably die. But if you kill the villagers, then your organ guns are going to go down because you're not fighting the crossbows. Oh my god, it's still not looking so good. Here comes the siege. A good micro from ACCM just to buy time, man. He's just got to buy time. He's going to get the castle up. He's going to be okay. Good micro in the end. It wasn't pretty, but it didn't have to be. And now cancel all those vills, ACCM. Cancel all those vills. Sell all your wood. Click up to the Imperial Age and then make trebs, and you've got it. He's getting ballistics now. Now, guys, it's easy for us to say, you know, like, do this or that with your resources. Stop making vills. When you're in the moment, you're like... you know, just constantly moving around doing stuff. You don't really get to think about it and take a deep breath at times. You know, the classic example with me that I've told many times is back in January in Wandering Warriors Cup, I made 175 villagers. And I was wondering why I didn't have food for Siege Ram. And it was because I was just queuing up vills nonstop. Because you get a rhythm down of make military. Micro-military, make villagers, and you don't realize when to stop at times. And, here come the crossbows. Again, it feels a little unnecessary right now. You know, I don't know if you need to take this fight, but you can take the fight. Obviously, it would be better if you're in the next age. Organton Siege still a little worried, and ACCM giving it respect. He's going to even go Guard Tower now. But it's definitely a case of he's so far ahead. I think that Yo just cannot bring this back from here. I mean, Malay are almost always going to go archers, right? So floating a lot of food and gold and not going imp with it is especially bad because it's not like you can go knights. That guard tower is super close to taking that out. Fire ship versus organ gun. Fire ship wins. Fun stuff. Also nice fish traps here for ACCM. I like to see it. Okay, now I think he stopped producing vills. Now he's waiting for imp. And this is where we're getting even closer to the GG. And not just the GG, but the 2-0 for ACCM. Yeah, Yo's all in Castle Age. He's just too far behind. I do think he was really unfortunate with his gold spawn. Like, if this was something that, you know, I think it's disappointing for a semifinal to have what happened here with his other golds. But he always had the golden stone in the back to go to. So obviously it was going to be more awkward. You can't really justify taking that gold in the early feudal age because of the wolves. That's what's weird. You don't want to have weak fills back there. But ACCM has outplayed him. And, you know, game 1 was an example of that. Game 2 has been an example of that. And ACCM just kind of waiting now. Waiting for imp. And once he's in imp, his crossbows will be upgraded. And crossbows are going to be able to take this out no problem. Or, sorry, arbalest. Yeah, I think Yo missing the first wood upgrade, though, is more of a result of the fact that he got hit everywhere right away. And at this stage, even if he knew that he doesn't have the wood upgrade, when you're down like 30, 40 vills, investing into any eco upgrades is kind of a waste. Because you need to invest those resources into something to do damage. So I'll cut Yo a little bit of slack on that one. Oh, the demo! Does nothing. But it was a nice distraction. There's Bracer now. And here's the castle. And there's going to be Trebs. And we're going to see the GG from Yo. He's rolling in with more organs. Bracer's in. No Arbalest, though, for ACCM. Good split micro. Bracer will be enough to take all this out in the end. Good split micro. Beautiful. Yo is dropping his own castle. What the? What the? ACCM's castle, this is going to be really close. I think this gets denied. ACCM, don't throw this. I mean, he could still treb Yo's castle down. There's no way he throws it. He's so far ahead, there's no way this is losable. He could delete 30 vills right now and still probably win. Because he would be even on vills and up in age and with better military. The game is unthrowable from here. Maybe on a map where players are further apart, but when you're this close, I just don't see it. Doubt just really wanted to, or ACCM felt bad about knocking Doubt out of the quarterfinals. Because he knows that he knows the fans really love to see some Doubt. So he's like, okay, I'll have a Doubt castle. I'll fail with the castle for once. And I'll do it for the fans. And GG. ACCM up 2-0 here. Yo's going to have to step it up. ACCM has looked the better player so far, no doubt. But guys, it was the first 3 minutes of Feudal Age. I mean, it was so incredible. He had the kill on the gold. He had the control of his hunt while also denying the opponent's hunt. Like, those two things were just insane. And then ACCM was able to use that so efficiently later on. Like, I know that, you know, Yo falls behind and tends to come back in those situations. But he couldn't. You fall behind against a really good player who's firing on all cylinders, and you just can't bring it back. And ACCM took the lead, kept the lead, and also I think had maybe a better civilization, or I don't know if you can say better civ. I think he just utilized his civ strengths. Because if Portuguese weren't struggling in early feudal, I think we start to talk about how cheap their units are and how many more options they have compared to Malay. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll look at the resources real quick. I mean, we knew the economy difference was immense for a while there. And ACCM didn't have the KD he would have wanted, but he doesn't care about that. Doesn't care about that one at all. I want to look at this stat, actually. So the total amount of villagers in that game was 137 for ACCM. The total amount for Yo was 89. Ended the game on 73 and 111, respectively. Here we are, game number 3. I think it's safe to say that this is a must-win for Yo. Yo is a great Atacama player. So if he wins this and then goes into game 4, which is set on Atacama, we could easily see it tied up 2-2. If Yo loses this game, though, it's going to be big trouble. And the civilizations are Slavs and Mongols. Yo, I think, has the much better civilization for this map. This map is known for lots of farms, lots of scouts, lots of aggression. Though we have seen a switch in meta recently. You know, sometimes players are actually going archers and going for lower economy. But both civs have actually been fantastic on Land Madness historically. But there's been many different versions of Land Madness. You guys probably aren't aware of the old one. But the old one, Mongols, was like one of the best. Because there's resources everywhere, but there used to be more hunt. There used to be 2 boars, and there used to be tons of hunt around. And I think they lessened the amount of hunt, and they made it 1 boar. And so while Mongols are strong now because of the hunt bonus, it's not as much hunt. And once the hunt is gone, you're kind of looking at Mongols, and they have 0 eco bonuses. Whereas the Slavs have the fastest farms in the game. So one civ is strong early, the other civ is stronger in the mid game. Now, there are other things to bring up, like the fact that if this turns into a night war, Mongols can actually make camels, which help. Mongol cav archer play is actually really tough for Slavs to deal with at times because their skirms aren't that good. There's other things that'll come up here, but I'm just going to expect a fast feudal. Players are going to have to adapt on the fly from there. No disrespect, but what could possibly make Slavs your favorite civ? They are neither a jack of all trades or a master of one. No disrespect. Why would that be disrespectful? That's my main question. That wouldn't be disrespectful unless you're like not trying to, you don't want to disrespect the Slavs. Honestly, I really like the Slavs. I think Slavs are underrated. It's just that Slavs don't have quite as many like bonuses for scouts as something like Franks might. I don't think Slavs need any tweaks personally, so I won't even really like speculate on that. I think the change they had recently that makes their castles a bit cheaper is pretty nice. And Slavs on this type of map are always pretty strong. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Slavs are bad civ at all. And neither is Mongols, obviously, right? Okay, back berries here for ACCM. That's going to be really nice. Also, I really wish they would look at whatever map scripts they're using for Land Madness. I know it's probably difficult. I've never talked to any scripters about it, and I never used Land Madness in any of my events. But this is bad, man. Like this and this, at least it's fair. I think that kind of ruins the appeal of Land Madness. Normally it's supposed to be tiny little woodlines all around. You have to move around. You have to be open. But it kind of closes off the map a bit more. It makes it so players don't have to move around, so it's not as mad. But I'm very happy that it's at least even on both sides. Normally one player gets the giant chunk of woodline. It's probably just a couple clumps just combining into one big clump. But ACCM doesn't have to think about going anywhere else for wood, pretty much this whole game. So what I would do if I were ACCM is I would go for a scout build here. We have seen a lot of man-at-arm archer play on maps like Arabia with Mongols. And the way he's sending villagers to wood makes me think that it's a possibility. But normally it's going to be double lumber camp. And yeah, he's going to go for scouts. I know people like to see the crazy fast up times, like the 16 pops, the 17 pops. But if you do that, you won't be able to afford any eco upgrades. And you have to kill right away. And against a player like Mr. Yo, you're not going to kill him right away. You have to peck away at him, you know? Chip away at Yo and eventually get that victory. It is a little harder to find the opponent's TC on this map because everything looks the same. It's not like, oh, there's his berries. Oh, there's his gold. No, you got to pay more attention. So ACCM was able to find him. Yo, going up on 20 pop. Obviously, he didn't hunt faster. He is going to be going for scouts, I think, as well. What's up, DJ? Hello, hello. Apologies for the signposting of not disrespecting a fellow chatter. You're good. I just didn't understand how that could be seen as disrespectful is all. Yo needs this one. ACCM is too good to be reverse swept, obviously. He's won 2 games. But we have seen a reverse sweep. Our second semifinal is going to be Jordan versus Velez. And Jordan was down 2-0 in a best of 5 yesterday. And he came back and he won 3-2, which was ridiculous. Just nerves of steel from Jordan to do that. That was against Vince of all people, so. One of the most underrated bonuses that I love about the slabs is how you get +5 pop space from your military buildings. I don't even think about that, but it just helps, you know? He's going to complete his barracks, and now he has 30 pop space. ACCM was a little faster, got the first hit on the scout. He must have noticed it was running to that corner and chased it down. And we're just going to see a spearman for Yo in a second, as he's making a stable. Again, this is ACCM benefiting from his Civ's bonuses. It's benefiting from the hunt. But is there a lot of hunt nearby now? Not really. And while there is hunt around the map, I don't know. Like, the fact that they made some of these groups 3 deer, and I don't know if that was intentional. It might just be a scripting thing. Actually, I could be wrong. It just might be this group. Maybe he pushed that in. But yeah, anyways, long story short, it's not like the very old Land Madness, like the 2018 Land Madness that you guys probably didn't see, where you would be milling more deer at this stage. You're going to see those farms start to come up for Yo. So as long as Yo doesn't take any damage, as long as he keeps his army number decently high, he should be okay. 2 scouts forward for Yo, 2 scouts forward for ACCM. I'm not seeing any holes here. Berries look protected. Woodline looks protected. Woodline looks protected. ACCM is vulnerable with this villager, though. A bit of a weird one, too. Like, maybe he wants to try and wall this, but it's always hard to wall this map. Very surprised he left that villager exposed like that. And he ends up losing the villager. It felt a little unnecessary. Maybe he was going to build that and pull the villager back. He's probably walling this up because he didn't know where the scouts were. Nothing worse than that feeling, by the way, where you're faster to military, and then they end up killing a villager from you. Here comes Yo, who didn't actually scout that much. And I think there's a hole there, guys. I'm pretty sure there's a... What is happening, man? This could be... He might not even realize the hole is there either. Great blocking from Yo. Yo taking full advantage, but there is a hole there. ACCM did not build that palisade, and it's really hard for him to see it. But it's easy for us to see it. A farm's coming out. ACCM desperate for damage. He goes underneath the town center. Risky game to play. Has to run away. And now Yo has got to be loving life. Not the 2-0. I'm sure he's not loving that. But I'm sure he's got to be feeling good about his position. Still desperation from ACCM. He's trying. There's nowhere else to hit. But Yo is on the ball. Added a spearman. Still adding more scouts. Now, Yo saw the gold. And the gold means one of two things. It either means A, he's going to add an archer range. The opponent's going to add an archer range soon. Or it means they're going to save up for bloodlines. So I think what I would like to see from Yo is maybe an early blacksmith. And he might not, you know, play it the same way I would. But what about an early blacksmith and some armor? If he goes archers, then you've got armor. And then if he's just going for more scouts, you at least are up an upgrade there too. You're starting to get the food at this stage. So definitely something to think about. I mean, the farms are going to extend further and further away from the TC. ACCM's being super annoying, man. Yo thinking about diving, maybe. He's floating a lot of wood. No archer range for him. No mining camps. No blacksmith. No second stable yet. Here he is. He sees 2 spearmen. He realizes maybe I shouldn't engage against 2. There is that blacksmith I was talking about. ACCM will see that. But that will tell him he's got to fight soon. I'd love to see him maybe... I guess he doesn't have many archers yet. As the singular spearman goes down. And then also the villager making the blacksmith goes down. Man, this is intense. Okay, Yo can't see the hole, which is crazy. Okay, now he's going to see it. Now he should click in. But he doesn't see it either, man. Oh my god. I mean, I guess you just assume it's walled in Yo's position, right? And you assume it's walled in ACCM's position because the guy didn't run in. This is crazy. Yo runs in here, sees the blacksmith villager. He's like, if I can't have a blacksmith, you can't have one either. Boom, villager killed. 3rd villager kill from him. Now I'd love to see him get to gold so he could maybe think of bloodlines. We still have no upgrades yet for Yo, but it should be coming in now. He has the blacksmith. Scout battles give me anxiety. I don't have the APM for that stuff. Oh, I love scout battles. I love it. But I get it. It's stressful. Also, do you really... Yo, you have 500 wood, dude. Do you really want to go get deer, you greedy animal? He's also killing the spearmen. This is before scouts have the upgrades. And ACCM's coming in with a lot of stuff. This is amazing for ACCM. Yo has so many resources in the bank, guys. He still didn't get upgrades. I don't understand it. He's had his blacksmith forever. He still didn't get attack or defense. He's now hiding over here. He is placing a tower on the wood line, which is smart. But, like, this is a map where you got to spend your res, spend your res, spend your res. Compare the amount of resources banked for Yo compared to ACCM. ACCM's got fletching. He's moving around. He's going crazy. He's looking to have some good time here. As we now see fletching for Yo. But again, like, no scout upgrades? He must think he has a scout upgrade. I'm not understanding this. He has to think he has it. He built the blacksmith so long ago. But even going to the blacksmith to research fletching, you should see that the little icon's there, right? I think, guys, I think he's using hotkeys for some of his blacksmith upgrades. And maybe misclicked the hotkey. Because he is definitely thinking he's got upgrades here. I might get bloodlines. Because that's not something you get out of the blacksmith. I mean, that or he's being extremely greedy. I would be very impressed if he could somehow just greed his way to Castle Age here. But, holy cow, man. ACCM still has archers he could send forward. And I guess the skirms for Yo is all he feels like he needs to push this back. We have infantry armor for ACCM. Again, he's invested. Maybe it was intentional from Yo. Yo was trying to go Castle Age. Dude, he's got so much confidence in himself. I mean, he should. He is a beast, but if he were to ever lose gold, this would be a long-term problem for him. And you want to go Castle Age to make knights here, right? Okay, he clicks up. Now he could start to see the upgrades. So let's assume that he knows he doesn't have any. And so at this point, he's going to click some. It just feels a little unnecessary after killing those villagers, right? It feels a little unnecessary to just undermake army. He takes the fight, though. He's going to win the fight, and he just gets by. God, dude, that's so impressive. Like, okay, this is a bad fight, actually. He could start to lose villagers. I take back the impressive part. Now I'm annoyed again. Where's your upgrades, Yo? Why don't you make more scouts? Why don't you make some military? Sorry. Getting a little bent out of shape over here. Because one of the best players in the world isn't getting upgrades. There we go. We got some upgrades. He quickly walled in his villagers. Impressive again. I'm not annoyed anymore. I will be annoyed in a second, though. So, you know what? I'll just stay annoyed because this is ACCM punishing Yo for his greed. Archers coming in. Yo has to run away. ACCM has forging, so his scouts have extra attack. He has fletching, so his archers have the attack. And he is taking Yo completely off of gold. And this is land madness. What ACCM is doing is land madness. This map is meant for military. Yo was 2-0 down, took a lead early in this game, and said, you know what? I don't need any more military. I'm just going to go Castle Age. I could see it on Arabia, Yo. I could see it on maybe some other slightly open maps that you can get some walls down on. But to be off of gold for this period of time is brutal. Because now you're going to have 2 knights, and you can't make any more knights because you're off of gold. And the 2 knights can't go forward because the 2 knights have to stay here to deal with this. Okay, he's going to have 4 knights because he's using the market. Now you have ACCM, and ACCM, his eco's been untouched. And ACCM is able to make camels, and ACCM just needed a little bit of time. So ACCM must be loving life. In fact, I'm curious how the Spearmen Archers actually do against these Knights. Because the Spearmen have armor and attack. But I honestly could see a world here where Yo doesn't even clean this right away. And he's actually had to make some skirmishers and bring some skirms over to deal with this. Now, there's an opportunity here if you're ACCM, and you just go for the vills if you want. But you've already killed a lot of vills, so it's a question of, like, do you think you can actually clear the Knights? If you don't think you can clear the Knights, you go for the vills. He doesn't clear the Knights, he goes for the vills. And well played to him. 8-3 eco KD. You got to be disappointed if you're a Yo fan that he has allowed ACCM back into this after that start. It was so good for him. And in the mid game, you're normally talking about the powers of Slavs. Now ACCM should open with some camels here. He's doing that now. And he has the stone to be able to add a second town center if he wants to. Now, again, normally you have a lot of military in this map. So normally it's not something you see. But he's going to do it now. And he's going to place it on that wood line. We're going to call this the forever wood line. Which he has walled up, by the way. And he has got a few spearmen. He's got a few camels. I don't think Yo is going to have enough to really be able to force any fights right now. Yep, here you go. You see the camels engage. The spearmen engage. Yo will take the fight. Okay, Yo taking the fight. Actually, good fight there for Yo. It's amazing how bad spearmen are versus knights. Really not that exciting until you end up getting pikemen later. We have a monastery yet from Yo. We do have a monastery. He's healing up the weak knights. I like it. And we should see a monastery. Normally, you're going to see a monastery anyways from ACCM as well, as you want to convert any knights that come in. And Yo's going to switch to pikemen now. And what I like about Yo's current decision-making is that he's not added the town center, because he must recognize he's behind now, and he wants to use as many of his resources to push as possible. So monastery, you've got monks, double barracks to go pikemen. This is a perfect play from him, and it's going to really make ACCM question what he should make. There's a world where maybe you consider going cav archers if you're Mongols. If you see the second barracks, that has to cross your mind. He's going to add the monastery for some monks. And then maybe, you know, maybe CA, maybe some scorpions. Camels pushing here. No problem for ACCM. This is more of a numbers than upgrades thing, I would say, right now. Upgrades will matter a little bit more later on. No player should be rushing +2. But ACCM is coming over to Yo's base, and Yo quick walls it. And also, I would never have seen the need for that palisade. I guess he walled it earlier, but very impressive, man. He could have lost those villagers. Whoops, sorry. ACCM keeping his opponent honest. Not allowing Yo to comfortably move out across the map. And ACCM... Now, I'm a little concerned because he's gone 3 TCs. He's got a massive economy lead, but kind of along the same lines of what we said earlier. If you're booming a lot and this opponent goes all in against you, you could maybe have some problems. But uh-oh, he's going to get in. Yo's going forward. The TC will actually complete, so the Vills could be safe. Yo has to go full damage control here now. Also over here, Yo's going to lose his monks. He'll get a conversion, but that's it. And Yo is now going to be desperate for damage. ACCM needs to watch out. All the villagers are inside the town centers. Every town center. It almost looks like he's rang the town bell here. And he needs to keep his advantage alive. Even walling there because he knows Yo will dive underneath the town center. But you've got monks coming over. You've got camels coming over. And ACCM. Is he about to go 3-0 up on Yo? ACCM's like, what? People said 4-2 for Yo? I'm just going to shatter that prediction in 3 games. Like, what? Yo's knights got caught on the side of the market. He clicked the market there for some reason. 63 villagers versus 47. And it is looking increasingly difficult for Yo to bring this one back now. Is Rubenstock using cube mod? Man, you guys are having a long conversation about cube mod. It's hard to see when you watch the video later, but basically people reply to each other. It doesn't show in the main chat. Nice conversion there for Yo. There's a couple people talking about cube mod. Yeah, Rubenstock I think is the only one that does that nowadays from the high level players. All the other guys have switched over. Now, if you're not going to go cav archers, you want to go Mangadai, and he's heavy on stone, right? So I think all that ACCM needs to do now is he just needs to survive and not, you know, lose units to pikemen. He just needs to survive and drop a castle. And he's almost at the point where he could just desperation buy one if he really were to need to. Like, he's waiting now. Ooh, 4 TC. Okay, interesting. Ooh, should be fine. But yeah, so if he really had to, I guess he needed the gold. Actually, I really like the TC because he needed the gold. He's got enough on stone. He's got enough gold in the bank to just buy it. Has Yo been playing AoE4 lately? I don't think Yo ever played AoE4. No. I think ACCM is... Like I said it when Yo played Say My Name, that Yo made a couple weird decisions here or there for the very high standards we have for him. And ACCM is more consistent than ever these days. But as I say that, he's going for conversions here. Now, he will get one of them, but he did just lose some army there. I'm not liking the army difference now. Yo takes the score lead. So this is where I think you need to buy that castle. You think you need to buy that castle. I feel like it would have been better to have those units at home to heal up. Nah, ACCM is Mr. Consistency these days, man. He's got really good decisions. See? I think ACCM would also is particularly good in settings where you're choosing civs for the opponent, as we've seen. And maybe, like, some players, like, I know he didn't play in this tourney, but, like, someone like Hera, I think, would maybe struggle a little more because you can't, like, pick meta civs. I think someone like MBL, had he played, MBL would have actually done quite well, I think, because it's very similar to, like, Ladder, where you do a lot of random civs, you know? But ACCM has looked amazing. And this is just a scary situation here, though. Like, he's got to get that castle up, and then he's going to need Magadai. But a 40 villager lead... A 40 villager lead makes you feel like you're going to be okay. But, I mean, he's going to need 6, 8, 10 Magadai. Going to need ballistics. Maybe even a second castle, because Yo could pressure other areas. Yo's going to see that. And he's currently looking at his score and probably be like, okay, this is manageable. But if Mongols ever get to a castle with eco, you start to worry. You guys have a lot of opinions on cube mod. Look at ACCM. It's hard to wall this map, but he's going to place some houses here. I don't know if he'll get them down, but I think he'll now confirm that Yo is moving this way. So he might send another villager. Yep, just to get the houses down. Here in the middle, he's attacking the siege workshop. Yo, going to lose the siege. Yo wasn't expecting that. And Yo desperate to break in. Important to note that ACCM can only take this stone close to his base, so he's on that right now. And Yo does have 23 farmers, excuse me, with the slabs. And he has broken in, guys. He's broken in. And I'm not sure, like, ACCM right now, he's got a lot in his mind. He's got the Magadai switch in his mind. He doesn't maybe want to make more camels because there's pikemen. I'm not sure he noticed that in time. And he's got to go full damage control. He's got so many vills, but it means he can't fit him in the town centers. And look at this from ACCM. What an amazing job, though. And the pikemen can't really come over here to help, right? That was so good, man. Damage control is one of the best things you can have as a pro player. And that was so good. Yes, he loses vills, but he didn't lose that many villagers. He's going to clear this. He's going to have Magadai. He's super close to getting the second castle. He's getting ballistics now. Very well played from ACCM. As he's actually going to send the Magadai over here. Kill these. And Yo has got to be feeling like, how did I throw this? And I shouldn't maybe use the word throw as much, because ACCM brought it back, and he deserves all the credit. But if you're one of those people out there who's like, man, T90, you get bent out of shape over some stuff. The reason I was bent out of shape over Yo undermaking army and not getting upgrades is because this would be the result. Ballistics completed for ACCM. Second castle being built behind this, just in case, I guess. And he's going to go forward with some knights and some Magadai. And try and get a counterattack in. A lot of players wouldn't do this. A lot of players would just sit back and say, I will win with Magadai. ACCM feels like he'll win with Magadai, and he wants to counterattack. Impressive decision-making here, especially because the knights and the camels, you don't really need them that much in the long run here, right? So you might as well get value now. Yo is going to try to ram through here. He might even go for the TC. And having the castle and having Magadai, which are notoriously good against siege, is going to be helpful here for ACCM, as he's got to back up, garrison his TC, Castle Fire is going to tell Yo this is bad news, but he's got to dive anyways. You got to try, I think. Here, the Mangadai apparently are going to be converted if they don't move out of here, but they will. Yo, trying to dive through. Double Castle Fire all over him. Quick, ACCM, research nomads before you lose your houses. It's a fun, unique tech. We just don't see it a lot. Yo, 92 villagers, 36 army. But we will have the third castle for the Mongol player. Yeah, I think I like Yo's. Like, I would... Uh-oh. Oh, God. ACCM. Quick wall! Wow. Dude. That was disgusting, man. That was disgusting. He doesn't lose a single villager, and he completes a castle, and he'll never get housed again, so it's perfect. What was I saying? Well, let me save what I was going to say, actually, till maybe later on in this game. I'm curious. I mean, Yo's on the way to Imp, right? And Yo has a lot of the map control. And I would say Yo gets better as the game goes on. His weakest stage is probably Dark Age. Second weakest stage is probably Feudal. Second best stage is going to be Castle. And then an Imp, he's a beast. So, problem is, Mongol Mangadai are very hard to stop. And Slavs are a little one-sided with what they do. They tend to go Cav, Infantry, and Siege. And Cav, Infantry, and Siege are all things that Mangadai do a good job against. So, you know, you're seeing a lot of these knights go down. Yo is, I think, going to go for as many Cavaliers as possible, and then try and go Treb push on the castles to try and eliminate the Mangadai from the equation for ACCM. But, I mean, ACCM sees this, so he might understand the game plan. So it's not... Ideally for Yo, it's not going to be as much about the unit choice. It's about where the units are. Because you could also spread out with the Cav. But there's just so many Mangadai. It's not like he has 40 Cav against 25 Mangadai. It's 25 Mangadai versus 12 Cav. And ACCM's got the freaking castles, man. And what he doesn't have is a ton of long-term golden stone, so he's working to get that. But, yeah, I mean, we should be seeing these Mangadai hit and run here in a second, and I'm surprised ACCM hasn't done it. ACCM's going to add some Trebs here. Now, the downside of adding Trebs is the fact that you're then not producing Mangadai for that period in time. So that is a plus for Yo, is the fact that Trebs had to be created. Yo, adding an archer range. I mean, you can consider skirms, guys, but skirms do struggle. I'd say another positive about having knights is that you could just kind of click them towards an army, patrol them towards an army. You don't have to hit and run micro. ACCM has to hit and run micro this, but he also has to hit and run micro this, but he also has to do everything else. So it's actually a little easier to play knights until you get like 40-50 Mangadai with Elite Mangadai, and then you just mop up everything. Elite Mangadai needs to come in yet. We have Chemistry, though. We have Parthian, and we have Armor, so the other upgrades are coming in first. Also, I think ACCM knows that Yo is going to try and dive and take his Trebs. Look at the preparation from him here. Losing some villagers there. Yo sees that. Yo, also back here right now. Very good stuff from Yo. Yo's up to 150 pop. Got Mangadai on his wood line, though. That's going to hurt his economy. But he definitely wants those Trebs. I love this from ACCM. I love the thought to get the gates and the rams. This hurts, though. Like, the small stuff from Yo. Couple Cavalier on the resources. Look at his vision. He's got a pretty good idea of where the stones and golds are in the long term. But ACCM's got 3 castles. And ACCM has plenty of gold. And while Yo might have 4 relics, I don't see Slavs getting much better from here. Now, this is something that maybe ACCM needs to deal with, and he does see it finally. This as well, but we have Elite Mangadai now. So, Yo has to be in like 3 places while ACCM is in 1 or 2. That's the only way I can see him winning this. Because if the Mangadai are all together, the Cavalier don't stand a freaking chance. Also, Mongols could go heavy camel. I'm not a big fan of that personally because I would use all my gold on Mangadai. I would say going for something like Light Cav or Hussar would make more sense as it's a strong meat shield, good against skirmishers, and better for raiding. Mangadai are insane, man. I love the fact we're seeing Elite Mangadai, though. I love the fact we're seeing Elite Mangadai. He sits in the choke point, and he's just like, yep, good luck surrounding me. I'm surprised Yo is actually taking this fight. I think he's thinking that with the skirmishers here, this will be good for him, but that is not a good trade for him at all. His Cavalier have just disappeared. Yeah, they're just gone. And I mean, there obviously a lot of Mangadai went down there as well. But there's more where that came from for ACCM. He's getting the light cav upgrades now. He's starting to raid. This could be a very quick semifinal. Uncharacteristic for Yo, honestly. The game 1 and 2, I have to hand it to ACCM. Game 1, ACCM was a beast. I definitely outplayed Yo. Just slightly, though, right? And then I think game 2, ACCM took advantage of his Civ bonuses really well. Also, I think was very fortunate with how the map layout was. So those games, I'm like, okay, that happens. This game, Peak Yo does not let this happen, man. Peak Yo does not let this happen. Yo had the lead. Yo had the lead, was too greedy, punished by ACCM, and ever since. Like, notice when ACCM gains an advantage, he does not let his opponent back into the game. That's a sign of a beastly player right here. That's the player that beat Doubt yesterday. That's the player who had that incredible deciding game against Doubt too. He's everywhere. He's going to drop a TC here. He's placing some siege and addressing this over here. He's got this army. He's got this army. ACCM is moving so fast that your average viewer would be dizzy. You're watching his point of view right now, I'm sure. This is ridiculous. Getting handcart now as well. Almost has the full upgrades on the light cav. Might see the Hussar upgrade in shortly. And Yo is just sitting here thinking, what could have been after his advantages early? Paul's the GG. ACCM smacking him right now, up 3-0. What a sick game from ACCM. I do have to go back, and I don't want to discredit ACCM at all, because I felt like when he did everything right. He lost his villagers, and he felt like, okay, I'm behind. It's time for me to counterattack. He had the spearmen. He had the archers. That's standard stuff, right? However, if you're in Yo's position, like, I need to show you this, because it just... Okay. At 14 minutes, he adds the blacksmith. Now we're going to fast forward. It was at 15 minutes. He's got 8 scouts on the map with Slav farms bringing in tons of food. Okay, pause real quick. 1,000 resources in the bank. 400 resources in the bank. ACCM is making archers nonstop. He's making scouts. He's making spearmen. He's getting upgrades. Okay, that's what traditionally you need to do here. Still waiting for upgrades. Still waiting for upgrades. You're forced into a tower now. This could be pretty bad. You might want to get some upgrades on your scouts. You maybe want to make an extra scout or two, because that could be really bad. Still no upgrades. Still no upgrades. I haven't seen an upgrade. I haven't seen an upgrade. Meanwhile, we have like all these upgrades coming in. We're going to have 3 blacksmith upgrades for ACCM. ACCM's producing out of multiple buildings. ACCM's going for the kill. And Yo's just sitting back like he's playing some Loey the Legend and undermaking army. It looked impressive there. And all it took was one more wave, and he's screwed. And then he's completely off of gold. He did just get a blacksmith upgrade after his whole army's dead. Like, that's just... That is just something that you just don't see at high-level land madness. The Yo is going to be so disappointed in himself. It was very greedy from him. I think if he goes 2 stable scouts with upgrades, I think he could actually push back everything that came in and have a faster castle age time. Or at the very least, have the control going into castle age. And remember, the key was... At the early stage, like 14 minutes, he was already ahead. So if you're ahead, stay ahead in the game. Don't give your opponent an opportunity to come back. Yo did exactly that. ACCM took full advantage. Okay. So ACCM did decide to go for Celts. And the reason I like Celts is because they can end the game quickly. Atacama is a map where you typically focus on the wood line, or wood lines in the center. You can see a lot of man-at-arm aggression, a lot of towers, and again, games can end very quickly. Now, what they have done for the Resurgence is they have added more water than what you might have typically seen. The original version of Atacama, just so you guys know, if you ever play this on the ladder, there's no water in the corners, okay? So don't go out there and try and dock. There's no water in the corners on the ladder version. I kind of wish they would add variety to it every once in a while, but anyways, there's no water in normal Atacama. There was then a version, I believe it debuted, and I could be wrong, but I believe it debuted in the German Cup. And then, this is kind of funny, the USA Cup was like a month later, and the USA Cup admins were just like, yeah, let's just steal all the German Cup maps. So they just like, you know, stole all the German Cup maps. So that's how I remember, because I played in the USA Cup map. And then this version has 6 fish. So it was like no fish, 4 fish, and now 6 deep fish. If we're talking deep fish, that's what I mean when I say fish. That's a lot of fish. So this is a must dock situation. You have to dock. There's so much fish there. I'm still not certain, though, if it is justifiable to pressure their water right away in feudal, because I think the pressure is always going to come in on the wood. And if you run all the way over there and drop a dock, and then suddenly you lose your wood line, you can't really do too much with it anyways. So, long story short, the progression that I think works is you dock in Dark Age. Both players should do that. In Feudal Age, we typically see scouts or like man-at-arms or archers or something. Maybe even some towers. And then somewhere in the mid-game, you can think about placing docks. Hey, look, they removed the wolves at the corners after that huge blunder last time. True, they did do that. I'm really glad they did. And also, I'm proud of ACCM. Or, not ACCM. I mean, I am proud of him. But I'm proud of Say My Name. Because there was a game where they were spawning wolves in this. And Say My Name went out to dock and lost a villager to a wolf. And I was like, I was pretty annoyed by that. Because it was not like that on the other side. And I felt like it was pretty unfair. So good job from the parties involved to change that. I'd like to see any dock map not really have wolves. That's my preference. Yeah, tower drop in feudal could be really good. Like I played a couple practice games prior to the qualifier for this event. And honestly, if you have a good man-at-arm tower rush, even if you're feudal age 30 seconds faster, it's just such a big advantage. So I think players could consider that. Now, Yo seems to be slightly closer to the wood in the middle. Just slightly. I mean, Celts also chop wood slightly faster, so there's different pros and cons, but just something to bring up here. And also, Persians are picked for this map because you start with plus 50 wood, plus 50 food. And Yo was able to get the dock up a bit earlier due to that. In fact, wow, Yo got the dock up way earlier due to that. Holy crap. Yo's got a 4 eco lead? No, a 3 eco lead right now. I mean, that's what you would want to get out in front of this and... Uh-oh. Pain, pain, pain for ACCM. I mean, he's up 3-0. So if he loses this game, it's kind of whatever. But still, as for this game, we already talked about Yo's little advantage because of the Persian start. And now ACCM can't even scout to see if villagers are coming to his pawns. He can't scout to see what his opponent's doing. And then his scout can't even be used to attack. So for me, this is an invitation for Yo to tower. Like, if you can place a tower back here and ACCM can't see it or scout it, it feels like the right move. I would love to see more than 4 games. That might be an unpopular opinion, but as a caster, I always like to see sets go on at least till like the second to last game, you know? No one wants to see a sweep. So we have seen it before. And sweeps can be impressive too. You know, you got sweeps where it's absolute domination and you just sit there with your jaw dropped like, what? How is this guy doing this? Anyways, there goes ACCM on the way to Feudal Age. Actually has the same uptime as Yo. And this, to me, looks like a forward of some kind. Needs a mining camp, which is 100 wood, but he can't do that because of the barracks. Yo's got a lumber camp over here. Interesting. It is safe. And oh, wow. Yo's going to go water. Yo is going to sneak a villager to go water, and this is probably due to the fact that ACCM lost his scout. Yeah, there's definitely a few sweeps that are up there with just god tier tournament performances. Like Yo sweeping Viper and Red Bull Wololo 1 for sure. Viper sweeping Hera in Hidden Cup. There's definitely ones that stand out. But overall, you want a really back and forth competitive series, you know? Look at the vision for ACCM. ACCM doesn't even have a villager here, so it's not like if he saw this anyways, he could just add another dock. Persian docks also have double the HP, so it's going to be impossible for ACCM to get Yo out of here. But look, Yo scouted the vills and scouts the militia, so it's going to be man-at-arm tower, and Yo immediately towers. He's just getting his own tower up, and it's going to make ACCM have to decide on how he plays this. So I actually really like this tower for Yo because he can still take wood. And if ACCM places a tower, it could still deny some of the wood. But, you know, at least you got your own tower up there. And that actually makes this lumber camp look a whole lot better here, too, for Yo. Because now he's got safe wood, even though it's not as efficient for the long run. Like, Yo is playing really good right now. Like, the previous game, he had a blunder. But this is amazing. He's scouting. He's looking to see if there's an archery range follow-up, which would be standard. And he's got an archery range at home. He sees the man-at-arms. Yo should be able to wall this out. But they are Celt man-at-arms, and he might be distracted. Nope, he sees it. Good work from him. Archer, of course, masked. And he's going to have a fire galley now. This is where ACCM will start to lose his fish. I think it's realistic that ACCM will lose all 4 fish to that. Because he doesn't know about it. And he's going to want to do other things with his resources. And Yo's just shooting this down while still able to take wood from straggler trees. And still able to take wood from here. So I'm really impressed with how Yo has played this. But ACCM trying to block! Trying to block the villager with the first speedy man-at-arm. Doesn't get the block off. Wow, impressive again. That time from both players. Yeah, this is a nightmare scenario. And it's not like it's 4 lakes where you've got thousands of food. Yo, though, loses his scout there. You see that kind of stuff a lot against the Celts because their man-at-arms are so fast, they just annoy you. And you have to babysit everything. Still, we have the Tower v Tower war. ACCM is going to make his fire. If Yo could just move this, he would kill those fish, no problem, though. Let's talk about transitional eco. We don't see any farms yet for ACCM. Don't see any farms yet for Yo. He's not even on berries. So you're going to start to really have to look for that stuff. And we have the deer being taken by ACCM. They're going to want other forms of food. Also, no eco upgrades for Yo. Eco upgrade just now coming in for ACCM. And you can't say the Celt man-at-arms haven't gotten value, man. Even if they don't get this kill, I think they've gotten value. Oh, man, ACCM's going to want that kill so badly. Yo, corner, quick wall. She's dead. I like what ACCM was able to do with that, though. Yo sent a few villagers to stone, so now he's able to tower. It's an opportunity for him to maybe run into the middle and tower ACCM. And now ACCM has made a fire galley, but all of his fish are dead. So that's why I said, oh, no way. That's why I said it's usually not even worth it to defend your fish. Yo is going to get snuck by ACCM. That's sneaky, man. We got a tower for Yo. That said, he has benefited a lot more from having the fish. His resources are looking pretty good. But I don't know. This is always deceiving. Sometimes this is a trap, guys. Because you look at your resources and you're like, wow, I'm at 500 food. I can go Castle Age. But you don't realize, oh, I've only got 5 on food. He's got 15, you know? So I actually think the resources are going to even out. And I think Yo is going to lose these fish and really need farms. Like, the fact that ACCM is transitioning onto deer and transitioning into farms is a really big deal here, in my opinion. Oh, man, he's also sneaking. Oh, man, he's also got range units over here. No way. We might see a sweep. ACCM has fallen so far behind in this game, and yet he's still putting up a reasonable fight. This is so good. Got this weird instance of villagers repairing right next to one another over here and fighting each other. Oh, as a demo. Boop! Oh, got him! Big play there for Yo. Yo should start losing his fish now, though. Yo also has an army sneaking over here. And Yo, still no farming eco, but he's got his berries. And while he might have taken another loss over here, he's okay. ACCM not so okay because these villagers are weak. I don't think he knows. I think he's looking at the water in the north. And 2 more villagers go down for ACCM. But Yo says, not just yet, buddy. Not just yet. You're not going to sweep me yet. You're not going to finish me off. And ACCM was prepped for this, so he's got his skirms. But very aggressive game here. Look at that eco KD. Pretty crazy. Yo obviously will lose the fish there. He's also going to add a dock in the south, which I think he was going to do with that one vill earlier. It's funny, though. 6 on food versus 7 on food. No, 6 versus 6 on food. So, as Yo's going to try and fight back on water, what's happening here? Okay, ACCM right-clicked the dock? That's very weird. I don't know. He's microing over here, obviously, so he's not going to pay attention to that too much. But he right-clicked the dock, which no one ever does, so I'm a little confused by that. I think he tried to click the fishing ship, and he accidentally hit the dock, and so all of his fires are going down now. I think that's what happened. Because if you were to click the fishing ship and kill it, then it would automatically attack the dock. But it would also prioritize units. Clicking the building like that is definitely a mistake. Yeah, it also kind of looked like he was trying to attack the fishing ship. But why would they... I guess if you give them the target to attack the fishing ship, they wouldn't automatically attack the units. I don't know what that was. Anyways, I can tell you the KD is pretty wild. 18 to 11. 17 to 11. Must have had a woo-woo-woo out there. This game is one strange disaster after the other. Yeah, but I mean, that's Atacama for you, and I think it's important to recognize that this is a map that you can't play as precise, which is why I love how ACCM has made so much army. Like, Yo, yet again, undermaking army, and ACCM is not. Like, you can't play this map perfect. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be messiness, but you have to always have army to remain competitive around the map. And ACCM has done that. And ACCM will click up to Castle Age faster, despite losing, well, more eco for a time. He still has lost more eco. And think of the damage Yo was able to do early. It was incredible. Now ACCM is the one who's prepped to go Castle Age. I think going to stone as early as Yo did was maybe a bit of a trap. Because that could have been, instead of like 500 stone in the bank, which is what he had a moment ago, it could have been gold, and you could just use the food to buy stuff. Or at least if you're going to have the stone, make the towers, you know? Because I think if you have the towers, then at that point you can undermake army a little bit. But ACCM continues to just dive in. He's full confidence in his abilities. He gets another villager kill. And he really needs to click up now. Don't tell me he's going to get another one. He's going to get another one. Again, man. Sloppy stuff from Yo. And Yo is up against it now. Now, he does have better knights, right? He has killed the majority of the ranged units for ACCM. The problem, I would say, is that Yo he's got a lot of skirms right now. Those skirms are not going to translate all that well. ACCM could get hit by these 3 archers here. He might be thinking Yo doesn't have archers anymore. And Yo has a dock in the south. So Yo would be able to, well, he will be able to take advantage of the fish there and the fish here. And even fish here, if he thinks about it. And I don't know who it was that said this was one strange disaster after the other. But it's going to continue a little bit because this stable hasn't completed for some reason. And these archers are heading right to the gold. And now it's ACCM's turn to not place a tower, even though he has the stone for it. I think he's just not expecting this. Here he is with a villager, by the way, hoping to dock and sending the archers there because maybe he knows Yo is over here. But Yo retaliates with a few vill picks, and this is... Wait, look at Yo's population, man. It's 60 pop versus 40. Very, very hard one to cast, this one. Because it just feels like, oh, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Everyone's got a disaster. Yo's fine. I think having the fish here is huge. Though that said, he's not going to have the fish over here. think having the fish is huge. I think his farms having Horse Collar is a big deal too. There's the second stable for him. ACCM hits Castle Age slightly faster. He's going to need to do some damage here. Just had my tooth removed. Ouch. Ooh, sorry, man. Were you in the dentist waiting room when you were in chat earlier, though? Because I recall you saying, hey, I'm at the dentist, and then you called me P90, and then you disappeared for like an hour and a half. So I'm going to assume you were in like the waiting room. I mentioned you and you were gone, so best of luck with that one. Okay, here are the knights. Yeah, dude, I was talking about you. And you were gone, so I figured you were in there. Unless you were listening to the stream while you're getting your tooth pulled. That would be fun. Okay, yes to all of questions. Are you bad at Age of Empires? What? You're not bad at Age of Empires. Don't do that to yourself. Nice save from ACCM. 1 HP. He could heal that up. Little archer here doesn't mean too much. Yo is aware that this happened. He's going to go focus on that. Yo and ACCM both with a second town center. You know, Persian Knights, they get bloodlines. He already has that, so there's more HP on the Knights for the Persians. Celts would normally want to work into infantry. Also, Persians get access to camo, which is a good little counter to Knights. You think of Celt Knights, you think of Huang. And Huang likes to go for Knights because he ends the game fast. He's like, Knight, Siege, Monk, boom. Eat your TC, game over. Not going to be so easy here. And while Yo has definitely had some uncharacteristic mistakes and slip-ups, a lot of that is the product of the map. And Yo is really seeming to turn on the style now. He's adding fish out of all of his docks. He's going in right to the gold to pick off some vills. And he's able to defend, I believe, from the knights that are coming in here from ACCM. Look, you've got more fish down here. You've got fish here. You've got that one fishing ship there. And then he's going to actually contest this pond, I think. Here he's got the camels. Camels should make quick work of ACCM. 57 eco versus 46. Yo with a slight lead in all categories. And it's not even just the lead in the categories. It's also the potential. Like, I think Celts would have to have pikemen before I really start to worry for the Persians. You support the Maple Leafs. Ah, so you've had a rough week and a half. You lost a tooth. You lost a big series. I feel for you, man. I really do. My girlfriend's a Tampa fan, so she's not as sympathetic. And I tend to support Tampa if my team's out, but like the Leafs have a really good team. You'll get there someday, man. Hey, yo. Is this the beginning? Is this the beginning, people, of the reverse sweep? Is there a chance? Siege Workshop for ACCM. I feel like the wood is something we haven't talked about in a while. And, ooh, actually, I didn't get to see you guys saying let's go Oilers. I went to bed before the end of the third period last night. Oh, no way, dude. Thank God the Oilers won. Sick. I gotta watch those highlights later. Amazing. Yeah, I went to bed when it was like 3-2 or something. Anyways, back to the game. The wood in the middle here is going to be really important. And ACCM has more stone income. So there's a chance that he would be faster to a castle, but I don't know if he could comfortably get the castle up with all these knights. And the siege that's going to be coming from Yo. Obviously, you could make your own siege if you're ACCM, but one little tiny choke point, he's walling up now. Okay. Is this not buy stone, drop a castle territory? Or is that just a caster thing to say? Good raid here for ACCM on the gold. 2 towers actually helps out because you can save most of those vills. Oh, God. The monks are forward. They weren't meant to leave. They're not missionaries. They're just monks. They're meant to stay at home. Oh, man. This is going to hurt so much for ACCM. And the timing could be perfect for Yo as well, because over here he could get conversions. Looks like he got one at least. Actually, ACCM got a bunch. Yo also could pressure with the siege from this side, and I'm telling you, the castle in here is going to be the killer. Again, when ACCM falls behind, though, he still keeps it so competitive. And I think for Yo, maybe it's It's just because I love the guy so much. I feel like the losses today, it's like he falls behind, and it's just, I'm not seeing it after that. And I think it's not even about Yo, it's about how good ACCM is. Look at this play from ACCM. House Wall brings the monks in, says, hey, I want your knights. I'll heal them. It's safe here. They'll lose the monks, sadly. Oh, God, this is about to get crazy. We are going to have a castle, guys. We are going to have a castle. And this is not going to be good for one or both players. Looks like it's not going to be good for one player. And that's going to be ACCM. It's a 1-for-1 with the... It's not a 1-for-1 with the mangoes, because it's a weak mango. The knights are looping around this way, and that castle is going to be rough. Because now you start to TC your extra golds and your wood lines in the outer ring. And it's just... I don't even know if you can call this a wood line. This is like a wood nugget. So ACCM on the way. Yo gets the quick walls down. Very well played. He's going to complete his castle. And ACCM should complete his castle as well, but he's got limited wood supply now. Very limited wood supply. Remember, Yo has better food eco. Yo has actually turned it on big time with his food eco. 35 on food. And there's an argument here where you just go up to Imp. You're pretty well protected. You've got as many knights as your opponent does. Plus, you have better knights. There's no real need to make a lot more army. Maybe from here, you just use the market. Try and get up to the next stage. I think ACCM can't do that. He's not close enough to the Imperial Age to really justify it. So he's going to try and go all in. And that's going to need to be Siege and Pikeman. He is researching Pikeman now. And yes, still no horse collar for ACCM. That really hurts when you've got 30 farms. And you're going to struggle with wood. Because of how the map is situated. Yeah, I won't talk about hockey too much, but I mean, who isn't just so impressed with McDavid, right? So I really want to see him in the playoffs more and more and more. Also, a big fan of the Calgary team. I feel like it's probably a sin to say that I'm a fan of both, but I'm like kind of a neutral in that sense, and I think both their teams are really fun to watch, so I've been enjoying the games. Go up to Imp! Yo is on the way to Imp. Stonks, baby. Stonks. He's on his way to Imp. And now he can make more army. I think, like, you could still make more knights here and just upgrade them to Cavalier. Cavalier against Pikemen is fine if they're Castle Age Pikemen. But, you know, if you want to be super safe, maybe don't place his castle. Well, if he gets 2 conversions, it could be fine. Anyways, if you want to be super safe, you could prep a university. And you could drop some archer ranges and start thinking about maybe hand cannons in the next stage. But honestly, I think ACCM doesn't know Yo is up. Because Yo's score is stupid high right now. And I think when he sees Yo is in the Imperial Age, he might be forced to call it. And there's Yo with the siege workshops and the archer ranges. So he's definitely thinking about going for chemistry. Maybe even some trash bows. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to make wood only crossbows on a map where all your wood's in the middle, but what's my team? I'm a Capitals fan. I was at the game where, so I get there, right? Capitals versus Panthers down here in Florida. We go up 3-0. I'm surrounded by belligerent, angry, upset Florida fans. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to make any noises. I don't want to get any fights tonight. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to be quiet. And I just smiled and I like, I got excited. My girlfriend's like, don't say anything because that guy next to us is like being a big jerk. And I sat there as we were up 3-0 and watched Florida score 5 straight goals. That's right, 5 unanswered goals. And I just slowly sunk lower and lower into my freaking seat. You don't even need to be a hockey fan to know how much pain I was in watching that. I was so high, guys. I was so high, and then I was so low. But anyways, chemistry on the way. We'll have Trebs on the way as well. We got 3 castles for Yo, and he's going to start to take down the castles. Chemistry will complete, which again will mean hand cannons. That's like one of the worst things Celts could ever face up against. Yo hoping to get conversions here. That should be 2 conversions. He's been converting for a long time. And he does get 2. And it actually looks like maybe he even got 3 there. So he'll defend from that. And again, you know, you worry for ACCM from here because what can he do without wood? He's clearly desperate. You know, running forward with 3 monks, this is not something you'd normally want to do. Horse collar! Horse collar! I wonder how much wood he wasted having to reseed farms nonstop. Pain, man. Pain. Well, the monks are getting conversions on villagers. They're not going to be happy about this because they're going to be switching to the losing side. This is going to be painful for the villagers. I feel bad for them. What? How are they not converted? Like, ACCM's monks just don't believe. They do not believe. They're in it for the paycheck, you know? Anyways, monks are going to die now, so I guess that's, you know, some justice. And ACCM is a minute from Imp. But can never counter hand cannons. Can never stop the bombard cannons. Hand cannons are the perfect play. And normally ACCM doesn't go on for this long. Yo, after losing 3 straight games, I was a little worried about him at one point in this game. He undermade army, and all of a sudden, he got a small counterattack in with what army he had. I think both players would have say that this was a sloppy one. Could have maybe seen a few more towers, a few more outposts to see armies in the mid game. But Yo had a good start, taking out the pawns. He also was able to, I don't know if you could call it an easy defense. It was either an unfortunate thing from ACCM because he clicked the fishing ship, or it was just a mistake from ACCM. Either way, Yo defended there. Yo had the fish in the south. Yo had the fish over here as well for a time. And Yo transitioned better into farming eco and army on land. 4-0 prediction. I don't think anyone made a 4-0 prediction for ACCM, but that 4-0 prediction has been ruined now. Yo has to win 3 straight to move on to the final. ACCM just needs to win 1 of 3. There is a chance. 120 to 60 kills, almost a 2 KD. There's the eco, a lot more food, a lot more gold, a lot more stone. We knew this for a while. So we'll just go back to the maps and the civs. Alrighty, my friends. Wow, this is going to be a banger of a game. I hope you like gunpowder because I think we're going to see it. We got Yo, who was beaten 3 straight to start off the day in the semifinal. Yo is playing as the Bohemians. And then in the red, we have ACCM. ACCM, of course, playing as the Turks. And I think Turks are a really safe bet here. However, if you saw that amazing game between Jordan and Vinchester yesterday, or in the quarterfinals if you're watching videos later, Turks, their end goal is to get to bombard cannons, hussars, cav archers. And I think the mobility aspect is important there. It's always possible to get the walls up on the sides. This map is kind of like Arena. You have lots of resources and relics towards the middle, but you can also expand to the side. I think if Bohemians get to Halberdier with the Hufnitze cannons, I think it's very, 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 very tough for any civ to stop. So I think for Yo, it's going to be about fighting up the gut, fighting up the middle. ACCM will have to expand elsewhere. But I suppose in this matchup, Turks are probably more favored on this map because you do have the sides and the areas to expand. T90, what's the prize money of the finalists? I think the person who wins the final gets 3K. Whoever gets second place is 1,800. Whoever loses... Wait, do I have this right? Someone should check. I think whoever lost in the quarterfinals yesterday got 450. Whoever loses today gets 900. And maybe whoever loses here gets 1,800. Anyways, it's something like that. It's a pretty top-heavy prize pool. Like, there is not a lot of prize going towards the players outside of the top 8 comparatively, you know? Which, with 10K, I think that's justifiable, you know? Everyone likes their prize pool splits to be a little different. Okay. So we're expecting Fast Castle. I mean, this is time maybe to ask questions, say hello if you didn't get to do that. If you're in the YouTube comments, you can just say I can't believe T90 doesn't like bubblegum ice cream, and then people are going to be confused and be like, what are you talking about? I don't think I've even had bubblegum ice cream, but my brain just went there, so whatever. And I noticed that sometimes the boars are outside the back of your base. I was thinking how funny it would be if someone were to lame. Like, go over there and steal a boar and bring it back. But that's probably not worth the risk. Second gets 1,800. Third and fourth get 900. And then fifth to eighth get 450. Okay, gotcha. So, really solid amount, you know? I can't believe T90 doesn't like bubblegum ice cream. I don't even know if that's a thing. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to explain it. It's a mix of arena and hideout. I think what I like about this is that there's elevation in the middle, which I know that's like uncommon for arena, but I actually really like that because it justifies a little bit more map control in the middle. And the more you justify someone pushing the middle, the more the other player could justify leaving the middle at the same time. It's really fun. I like it. It's a similar idea, I guess, to bypass, which we've used in the past, right? Bypass is a mix of arena and hideout, I would say. This is maybe a little different. Cookies and cream ice cream? Cookies and cream ice cream is amazing. You know what I had recently? You guys ever have, can't even think of the name of it. It's like a purple ice cream. I think it's black raspberry ice cream. Do you ever have that? So, the only time I've ever had it is when I'm with my family at our, like, little camp, which I was at last week. And according to my uncles, they don't sell it anywhere near home. So, it's the only time they ever have it. Valley, my plan was to cast with Jordy for the second semifinal, but then Jordan made it into the second semifinal. So, at the moment, my plan is to stay solo today. And, to be honest, I think I will stay solo today. Even if, like, Cristiano Ronaldo gave me a call, was like, hey, you mind if I hop in for this? I'd be like, you know what? Sorry, bro. You're cool and all. But I think I'm just going to hang out and cast solo. I'm enjoying it. I think it's called Black Raspberry. But I only ever had it when I'm a couple hours away from where I grew up, so. I'm sure Ronaldo would be a great caster. So you have options. You can go for Castle Drop. Go for Janissaries. When I say Castle Drop, I would say drop it defensively would be the way to do it. For Bohemians, you used to be able to go for Crazy Monk play, but they changed the price of the monasteries, which was a long time coming. Having monasteries that were 75 wood, combined with all the gold mining upgrades being cheap, was just ridiculous. But what's still great about a fast castle with the Bohemians is if you go market blacksmith, your blacksmith is only 50 wood. So you can go, you only need 225 wood to get your buildings to go up to the next stage. Also, do you guys hear that bird? Listen. Up your volume if you don't hear it. Listen. Oh, that's where they are. They keep shrieking and it's annoying me, man. I don't know why they're stuck in the middle of the map right now. Like all the birds are in the same spot. What's going on? Not a big fan of the birds. They don't sound like they're dying, but they're all collecting here. Look at this. You thought it was outside your window? Nope. Weird, man. This happens on occasion. I think it's a scripting bug. I think it has something to do with like something they put to, there's different things that they hide, guys. You don't know this. It's like underneath the terrain, different things to mark various aspects of the map. So certain things generate in various areas. And I think that has to be the explanation why the birds get stuck. Like, I'd have to talk to Krazzini, but I know the way Krazzini has scripted maps. I know he's probably got some weird thing. And look, what Yo is like, what is that? Yo could see the birds. I think they've just deemed Yo the winner of this game. I don't even think we need to watch the rest of it. It is funny to me. So there used to be a bug where the birds would get stuck. Okay? Or a bird would get stuck in the corner of the map. All my real OGs will know that. I don't know if you can even show any clips of it. It's out there somewhere. It's in various videos over the years. So anyways, we loved that bug. Like, when the birds showed up, it was so random. Maybe a couple times a year. And we just knew if that bug happened, that game was going to be a great game. It was like a sign from the gods, right? Then, a couple months into freaking DE, when we don't even have spec chat, and like units are pathing through walls, blah, blah, blah. They fix it. It was the only bug I never wanted fixed. But then we still have this, I guess. So that's good. And these two are still going at it. I wonder if they're like... Oh, wait. Hold on a second. This other one continues to return. I wonder if it's like they're territorial birds. He's like, no, this is where the battle will happen. This is where all the bodies are. Maybe they're vultures and they ate these people. I don't know. Hey, Tristan, any chance you compete in the Wololo event this year? I've had a lot of questions about that. I think it is unlikely for a few reasons. First reason being lack of skill. Ooh, this is important. I think ACCM wins. Oh, Yo won it. It's funny because both scouts were doing 5 attack or 5 damage. ACCM had 1 more HP, but that didn't really matter there. Because he was on 5 HP, Yo was on 4 HP, but Yo was the one who got that final hit in. Yeah, first reason I'm not doing it is probably lack of skill. I'm just not good enough, truthfully. I mean, I'm good enough to probably get it like a round or 2 in, but to qualify, no. It's just like this event. Like, this event was top 16 plays in the main event. I go all the way to the final best of 5. Who do I go up against? ACCM, and I lose 3-0. So, I just don't know if I'll commit the time and energy into it. The other main reason is if I'm casting there, I think that would be, in the event that I play out of my mind and qualify, that's going to be really awkward. And I'd have to talk to them ahead of time to see if that's even okay. So what I want to do is I want to confirm that I can be there and get everything scheduled as far as that's concerned. I would love to make it there. And then if I can do that, then I will make the decisions on what we do. So that might take some time yet. Okay, so ACCM has gone for Light Cav. And he's gone for Light Cav to control the relics. Very arena style. We haven't seen anything out of the ordinary here from an average game of arena. He's going to add his second town center. Yo would love to get 1 relic, but he just saw the Light Cav, so I'm sure he's aware that this is going to be risky now. Light Cav are amazing against monks. Very hard to convert Light Cav. But look at Yo. Yo's actually going to try and yoink this one. That was funny. This monk's like, nope. The scout gets hit there by the spearman. And Yo is going to try and kill this monk. It's worth a shot, I think. And he does kill it, so well played there. 2-1 KT this game. Yo continues to try. He also researched Fervor. And Fervor increases the speed of your villagers with Bohemian. So your boom is really strong with that. And I would say that tends to benefit a lot later in the game when you're moving longer distances for things, but still it's very helpful. The idea for ACCM is to just get all the relics on the map. The idea for Yo is to get as many as possible with as little investment as possible because he's booming. So he's got the boom lead, but ACCM will in theory have the relic lead. This is the last thing I expected to see when I looked over here. It's just a random pig. There's a supposedly conspiracy theory that birds aren't real. Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory. We don't want to get too deep into this, all right? I'm just going to say it. We're going to drop it. I heard they like think they're robots. They're like government spies or something, right? God, I want to talk about this more. I have something I want to tell you guys about that. But I probably shouldn't. I got to remain professional. Okay, maybe another time. Maybe another time. Sorry if the birds are now bothering people. I have people saying that it bothers them now. Okay, listen, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. So it could have been a meme. So, like, at the last Red Bull Wololo, there was a lot of players. Obviously, you had the casters. You then had, like, supportive teams. You had, like, the employees there for Red Bull. There was, like, maybe 100 people in that castle. Maybe that's a lot. Maybe, like, 70. Someone's laptop had stickers on it, which to me made it seem like they may believe that birds are government drones. And I didn't really converse with this person. And it might have been a joke. I didn't exactly want to ask him about it and have a conversation on it. That's all I'm going to say, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And I was like, interesting. I thought, maybe, it's making some jokes about it or something. I'm going to assume it was a meme, but I don't know. I don't know. Could be what we're looking at right here. Oh, they're gone. They have dispersed. They have dispersed. Interesting. We have a castle for Yo. If I'm Yo, I try and kill this guy as fast as possible. And you open up with pikemen, go into Halb, rush chemistry, and just go Halb, bombard cannons. I don't even think you go for anything other than barracks and siege workshops. I think the potential is there to finish ACCM before we get deep into the game. Did Viper have an explanation for his stickers? Yeah, it was totally Viper. Totally Viper. Odds are it was probably a meme, though, right? Odds are it was probably a meme. All right. Turks do get redemption. And Turks do get block printing, so there's a world where you could possibly consider going monks later, but it never feels all that natural because I think they lack other upgrades. Oh, yeah, it's pigeons, maybe. Yeah, it could be pigeons. Okay, here's this lady getting attacked by a bear. She's outpacing the bear right now. Okay, she's going to win the fight. We got to look to the middle now. We have a Hussite cannon. And we have a light cav going in for the monk. And the light cav gets the kill. But this is definitely, like, this is the start of it, right? This is the start of it. It's important that Yo doesn't lose spearmen unnecessarily. Every single little unit he's going to need. Because he needs to kill the player who has relics as quickly as possible. It was an interesting choice to add the siege. I wasn't sure I was a fan of it when I saw it. Look at that, man. Keeps the monk alive and everything. Yo, Russian chemistry already. He clearly wanted to build more barracks in this. He wanted to have like 3 or 4 of them, but he couldn't. Now ACCM is going to stonewall this side. Now this is where it gets interesting. I don't mind the stone walls for him, but I don't think there's a world where Yo will ever try and push the side with his army comp. So, I mean, if you're walled, they can't push you, which I guess is good, but I don't think they would. But I guess if you want to wall them out of the gold, that might be a priority. ACCM has played this really, really well. That said, the concern is the next 3 minutes, because Yo is going to be an imp, and Yo is going to have chemistry completed, and Yo will be able to make bomber cannons right away. Now, Turks get chemistry for free when you arrive to imp, but that is still 2.5 minutes away for ACCM. Also, redemption is in, so the siege can now be converted. Block printing is in as well, so you have the 12 range. And the Bohemian spears do additional bonus damage, so they're very strong here. Now, I like this from ACCM. Just any little thing you can do just to keep him off the resources being annoying. I like that. And I like the walls more the more I think about it. And it's mainly due to the golds, right? Like, I guess Yo is going to have to push to the middle for gold anyways, but still. I think Yo is really looking right now to see what's up. And he doesn't see that castle. I mean, it's not a bad castle to place if you're Yo. There's no castle there for ACCM. But now he's like, well, guess we're committed to this one. Very awkward. ACCM now making a tower. But it's awkward for both players, right? It's awkward for ACCM as well. He got all 5 relics, but the relics are right below this. And this tower, I'm not sure I agree with that. Treb should be on the way for Yo. And now we have Yo going over here. This is what I meant. Anything you can do over here just to harass this would be really good, because Yo will get distracted from the middle. I don't know. Does this complete? The monks are kind of healing the villagers. It looks like the castle will actually complete. And now ACCM can make bomber cannons. Right now. That's what Bohemians are able to do. Be able to out-bomber cannon the Turks is a special thing. First sweep incoming, maybe. 113 pop for both. You've got to think ACCM is going to kill these villagers, though, and maybe get in. So Yo's going to have to respect that. Yo is going for Hufnitze. He didn't even get pikeman yet, man. Also, Minnesota Twins fanatic, nice to see you, man. Hussars are going to be created in the middle, too, you'd think. This could be a problem for ACCM if he doesn't have a castle. He can't get conscription. He can't get artillery, which would give him additional range on his bombard cannons. He can't make trebs. But we might look back at this side play from ACCM as one of the important moments in the game. Because, again, if he just avoided pressuring these areas, I think Yo would be in a much better spot. Yeah, Turks do get extra range bomber cannons, but that's only if they have the castle to get artillery. And he's just sunk a couple hundred stone into repairing this. And Yo could convert the bomber cannons if they don't have 14 range. Look, I think he knows that. He's just bought the stone immediately. He's going to place it in the back of his base or something. Janissaries, though, could snipe the monks. That's exactly what ACCM's trying to do. It's hard to click them, though, because they're behind the freaking boxes. Really hard to see that there. That was actually an okay fight for Yo. And Yo has the Hufnitze cannons. He's going to hit the castle here. No way! That's the worst place for the castle, ACCM. Guys. Yo's got pikemen here defending his gold. He's going to melt this castle. ACCM is very far away from getting full Hussar upgrades. And you've got to think all this siege is just going to push ACCM's main base. It's going to take the relics. ACCM's going to lose control. He doesn't have production buildings here. He's been booming, booming, booming. But this early in pressure is killing him. The first 3 games were won by ACCM. Yo won the previous one. He might not have even believed then. I'm sure, I mean, it's Yo. He's got to have belief in his abilities. But he probably realized how hard it was going to be. But suddenly you win 2 straight. And then you're like, this is feasible for me. Bombard cannons for ACCM have to roll away. There's a slight chance one gets converted by the monk that continues to follow. And what I'd like to see Yo now is just use all of his trebs to break in. And bombard cannons to take the monastery and the stables. I'm not a fan of these trebuchets. Well, I guess they're going after the gate. I just like to see him really get a condensed push going. Now, I like this from ACCM. Raiding with Hussars over here. Remember, he walled out this gold, so he could take that gold himself. And he's also keeping that away from Yo. And we see a defensive castle here for Yo, but we have bombard cannon on the way for ACCM. So that's good. Like, you have to do that, guys. Because if you don't do that stuff, Yo will just focus on the middle, and he won't be distracted at all. So that's a good addition. Now, we'll see if hand cannons is a good addition. I think hand cannons is going to be somewhat questionable. You think that the wagons aren't used as intended by the devs? Oh, 100%. Yeah, they thought this unit was going to be like a unit that you mix in with other things. And we don't really see that yet. I think we should see it more. But they're good on their own. That's the thing. They're good on their own. And then in combination with Halbs, it's like a souped up Halb bombard cannon push, which has always been strong in our game. Even if it's just with generic civs. Love to see Yo get those relics. Obviously, he's got to focus on winning the fight. And these cannons, gotta be careful here. It's going to be elite Hussite wagon. And you see this from Yo? He's going to go for the relics instead of going for conversions, or is he going to go for the conversions? He's going for the conversions here. Now, use the TC if you're ACCM and shoot the monks. Use the TC here. He's doing that. Or maybe it was the cannons. Oh, the monk converted one. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Pressure continues. Here you have this nice little push on this side from ACCM, but he doesn't have a lot of stuff. It's awkward for him right now. He doesn't have a ton. Hand cannons, I guess, were in response to the halves, but these elite Hussite wagons seem to be stronger than the hand cannons. 20 attack, 250 HP, and the Hoofnitzes are the target for the hand cannons. But how many hand cannons have to die? It might be worth it. Technically, if you look at the cost of the units, it's worth it. But we're still talking 7-to-1 value. Yo's going to win this game. Yo has won this game. This game is over. Yo will take all the relics. Yo is still fine over here. Couple halbs, couple wagons is fine. I'm starting to worry for ACCM now. I'm really starting to worry. And I feel like we haven't seen these Hussite wagons in a hot minute. But I did make a lot of videos about these wagons when they first came out. And I have, I think ACCM was actually in one of them, called the Bohemian Nightmare. And the wagons are insane. The tankiness of them, the amount of damage they do, combined with the Bohemian economy is no joke. I think, you know, we talk about the hand cannons and the arbalests with fast chemistry, the monks, blah, 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 but this unit's still nuts. ACCM not giving up. He's losing his main base, but he still wants to push here. He's not giving up. I'm worried that he's not going to have the economy to make much more here after losing most of his farms. Yo's going to have all the relics. Look at the monks. Now his gold income's going to fly up. Obviously, Yo's got gold and stone income in the middle as well. It's funny how Yo doesn't even need to do anything fancy with the micro. He just kind of sits his units here. He doesn't care. He'll just worry about making more. This is the only way ACCM comes back, is this area right here. It's the only way. Like, I think Yo needs to respect this a little bit more now, because he has pushed a considerable distance into ACCM's economy. All my electricity is out, but at least I still have T90 on data. So much for making lunch. RIP. I'm glad to have you still. Here we have Halb chasing some villagers, making a panic TC on the side. The Yo continues to move forward. I'm a little concerned for Yo because unless he converts these cannons here, he could actually lose his trebs. And he is losing this side a little bit. But ACCM's pop is so low. And I guess the bomber cannons will just die to the halves. Yeah, ACCM's got nothing here. Yeah, ACCM's at 100 pop. The trebs, well, I guess Yo misclicked. But the bomber cannon should be taken out. These bomber cannons here are maybe the toughest thing to take out because you can't use halbs for that. And ACCM didn't even garrison here, so those halbs, well, there he garrisons. Getting some kills. Guys, is ACCM going to start doubting himself here? I think a little bit of doubt's got to creep in. The thought of, I can't be throwing this, right? Like, come on, I played so well. I can do this. But there's worry associated with it. There's got to be a little bit. I mean, I would be concerned. Because Yo has been able to win the last 2 games. Fairly convincingly, I guess you could say. That the Atacama game could have gone either way. And it's Mr. Yo. It's his reputation that really is going to worry you here. Hussite reforms. What the crap is that? That's not Wagenburg tactics. Wagenburg tactics means all the gunpowder moves faster. I don't even remember what Hussite reforms is. I genuinely don't know what that is. Someone could probably tell me what that is, and I would remember now. The trash monk. Oh, the trash monks? The monks that only cost food. I don't think Yo wanted that. I think he clicked the wrong one. As excited as you guys are gonna get, he's not even making any monks. I think he thought it was the faster wagons. I think his resources are so high that he could just afford either one. I haven't seen him take advantage of it yet. So I guess having the monk text cost food is really good. But yeah, I don't know if Yo really meant that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. This is over, man. And the longer ACCM continues to play on, the more I worry about his mindset, because he could just say, all right, whatever, and then let's just go next. But now he's just like, oh, I gotta do it. No, I don't. I'm not throwing it. Am I throwing this? Am I losing this? How did I lose this? The GG's called. Mr. Yo is not done yet. Now, I think the score being 3-2 at this stage, if we would have predicted that, prior to the series, it's going to be 3-2 going into Game 6. That wouldn't have been that surprising. But 3 straight wins from ACCM, followed by 2 straight wins from Yo. That is surprising. Yo continues to fight. Happy to see it. I was a little concerned after the 3-0 scoreline that we would see a very fast series. And we've got a good one now. 230 kills there for Yo. I think ACCM, I don't think he had enough military prepped. Like, Yo didn't even get pikemen until he was on Hufnitze, I think. So, like, what I wanted to see there from ACCM was maybe a couple more stables. And try and hold the map control against the monks. Because remember, what time did Yo hit Imp? He hit Imp at 26. Okay, so let's look at like 25-30. Okay. At this point, Yo has 5 wagons, 1 spearman, 1 monk, and he's a minute away from Imp. And so the approach from ACCM was to go for some siege. Why not more monks? I guess he's worried about the pikemen. So I can understand that. But, like, if we look on, just fast forward through this, I think what he really needed was light cav. And if he had 3 stables producing light cav, instead of maybe Janissaries, I don't know, Janissaries were fine too. There's not much from Yo to stop that. So I think if you delay it a little bit longer there, it could work out for you. I liked what he was thinking on the sides, but the truth is that type of push is just really tough to stop. And I mentioned it at the start that Bohemians are nasty there. So you can't really kick yourself too much if you're ACCM. You had a very small window to slow that down, and even then it was going to be complicated. In the red, we've got ACCM, who opened up with 3 straight wins, has now lost 2 straight, still just needs 1 win of the potential next 2 games to win and move on to the finals. He's playing as the Saracens. And then here in the blue, we have Yo, who's playing as the Tatars. The map is Sahara. Now, Sahara is very Arabia-like, except there's tiny wood lines towards the center, and then your golds are normally pretty far forward. And you can see that here at Yo's base. Golds are pretty far forward, and you can see that at ACCM's base. At first glance, I think I prefer ACCM's map, just because of how easy the wood lines look on the sides and the back of his base. It just, and having the berries on the back as well, whereas Yo's berries are on the front, it just seems a little less awkward. As for which civilization is better, as always, guys, it's going to depend here. I think both civs tend to play out into archers in that Arabia meta. Saracens, because they can use the market with that and get to crossbow very quickly and destroy buildings fast. But Tatars, due to the fact that they get thumb ring for free and do more damage when fighting up on top of hills. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to the early strategy, early feudal. And truthfully, ACCM is the player who is better in early feudal situations. That's at least what I've seen. Yo looking to lame a little bit here. Trying to show you the HP. We have 2 goats. These guys were best friends, and they're parting ways now. I think Yo wins this fight. Yeah, Yo would definitely win that fight. But what's good from ACCM, and this is actually a strategy, guys. I'm not sure if he tried it intentionally here. But, he got the sheep! So, what you can do in those situations, even if you have less HP, when you have a forward rhino, take the fight until they can't justify stealing your rhino. Okay, and then just lose your scout. Okay, I don't know about that one. That is not a good start for ACCM. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, so let's add up the losses there. He lost his scout, and I think he lost 1 goat. But it might have been 2. And then he's not able to even scout the opponent to see where he is. Yeah, he was just 1. The other one's hiding. That hurts, man. Look at Yo. He sees 4 on wood. He knows where the wood line is. He knows where the gold is. He's going to know everything. And so ACCM is already walling up because he's concerned. Mr. Yo. He didn't look like himself in some of these games today. And there's always the question, when anyone good starts losing, there's always that why that creeps into people's minds. Some people are like, oh, such and such, it's a bad time for them. Or, oh, such and such, or such, or such, or such, this, that, the other. And, you know, maybe that started to creep into people's minds. Yo was like, I don't care about any of those factors. I can still bring this back. I can still do this. I'm going to continue to fight because I'm one of the GOATs of the game. And here he is. And ACCM is definitely not in that GOAT conversation, right? He's not in that top 3, top 5 all-time conversation. But the last couple years, he's crept into that top 15, top 10. He's had some really big results. And the thing that has impressed me with ACCM has also been his mindset. One of my favorite interviews with ACCM was in one of the Red Bull events. I wasn't doing the interview. Forget who was doing it. And so ACCM had a big win. And, you know, so I think it was Riley, like, asked him, like, you know, you were down, like, what goes through your mind? And he's such a sweet dude. Like, ACCM is such a sweet guy. And I can't really do, you know, like, Vietnamese English accent. But basically, he was just like, I talked to myself and I said, I'm a good player. I can do this. And then afterwards, he was like, go Vietnam. And it was so cute because he had all his fans out there, you know. So the point is like, you know, you got to be having those conversations with yourself right now if you're ACCM. You got to say, listen, this is a bad start. We've lost 2 games, but I earned those 3 victories. I can beat Yo. I've shown that I can beat Yo. I'm going to beat Yo. You have to have that outlook. I'll tell you what, though. This start just looks so brutal. I mean, his walls are good, but his uptime's delayed, and he's going to click up the fuelage here at a pretty late time. I guess that's because he couldn't push in any ostrich. I guess it's because he couldn't push in any ostrich. So a normal, like, fast archer uptime would be like 20 pop or 21 pop, and that's including the scout, right? So that would be 19 vils or 20 vils. He's gone up on 22 pop without the scout. So this is like a whole minute later than what he would normally do. Here comes Yo. Very weak scout. Yo walling up a little. And both players have forward resources, but I think it's going to be more awkward for ACCM. Because he's going to very much need to rely on that gold. Yo's just looking. This is the value of the scout. And, avoiding. He's looking for a barracks right now. He's confused. He's like, where is that? And, oh, he dodges. He dodges. And I think he's baiting this. Oh my God, the confidence, man. You can tell he's feeling it right now. He's like, come on, kill me. You just need 1 arrow. Kill me. You got this. Whoop. Come on, kill me. This is a man in his element right now. Yeah, come on, attack me. I dare you. Attack me, bro. Attack me. Meanwhile, he's doing everything else, adding the range, adding the eco. Come on. What are you going to do? You going to add an archer range? I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to attack it now. Attack it, Yo. Attack it. Be annoying. Attack something. I love to do that. Dave mentions that about me. I like to attack stuff, and then people are like, huh, what is that? And it's just my scout. Yo's in the zone right now. But ACCM, a different approach. He's going for the wood and the farm upgrades, and he's not going to gold at all. I mean, he probably will go to gold, but he decided to just invest into those upgrades first. Yo is going double range, so he is taking a different approach, investing into a lot more army. Now, Yo also had the extra goat, and then Yo also had extra food on the goats because he's Tatars, so he doesn't have to invest in the farms as early. And now I guess he's just going to scout to make sure he can get walls down. This is smart from Yo. He obviously wants to go forward, but he doesn't want to miss out on ACCM sneaking something later on. All right. So if you're ACCM, you have no scout. You don't know what they're doing. He's luring the lions right now. He doesn't, guys. He's not even trying to lure the lions to Yo because he doesn't know where Yo is. That's the thing. So he doesn't know what Yo's doing, where Yo is coming from, or where to even go. So he's added Spearman, and now he's getting attacked. And his opponent has Fletching. So he actually won't be able to complete that house. So this is going to be, I guess, what you could call a woo-woo-woo. That'll eventually happen. I think now ACCM will just assume that Yo is coming from the north. That would be the correct move, I think. And I have to switch to Yo's point of view because I keep hearing that the attack noise from the Lions. Would be so funny, though, if you were round up a bunch of Lions and somehow get into Yo's base. But look at this aggression from Yo. And he's keeping the Saracen player off of gold. Yeah, you can sit here and you can say, wow, that gold's really bad for ACCM. And that's true. But that's only something we're talking about because ACCM doesn't have control. We could have been saying the same thing about Yo's berries and both of his woodlines. And this gold, I mean, if the walls wouldn't have come down. And oh god, there goes the Spearman. We'll still have to keep an eye on that. So, you know, good players make bad maps look good. And you got to take advantage of your map and your opponent's map. It'll be 2 Spearmen. I think Yo spotted this now. It'll be 2 Spearmen. And it will be 2 Wolves. That would definitely, or 2 Lions. It would definitely kill a Vil, but 2 Archers there, probably not. So what does ACCM have to do? He's got to go into skirmishers. He's got to get armor here. He's going to have to push out and engage against this. Yo sees this, which is hilarious. The Lions are still running. Does Yo have any weak Vils? Not really. And I like the move from ACCM. He says, you know what? Let's just sell my stone. Let's get back on gold now that I've got the skirms. And he's still alive. He's still in this. And the Lions are just going to sit there and wait for a different target. Now, it's always interesting. How do you want to play against Saracens, right? Some players will say, well, you don't want to go into a market race with the Saracens because they have the better market rates. Other players will say, well, you got to do what you can because they're going to be in Castle Age stronger. I don't have any clear answers. I think that what Yo is able to take advantage of is the fact that he at least does a little bit more damage on top of hills right now. But the last thing you want to make is skirms. As we see another Spearman being attacked by a Lion. Yeah, the last thing you want to make here is skirmishers because that's you spending food and delaying your Castle Age. Saracens are just so nuts, man. Saracens are so nuts. We saw from Jordan against Vinch. The fact that Yo would have all this control, and yet ACCM is about to click up faster, despite not having more food in the sheep, despite not taking all of his deer, this tells you how strong Saracens are. Little woo-woo-woo over here. The auto scout going to town for Yo. And I'm concerned for Yo. Okay, he's got a lot of Vils in queue. But that's part of it. I'm definitely concerned for Yo. Here he brings in the scout. It actually... Wait, was this a... Oh, he added a new scout. Oh, he added 2 new scouts. Huh. Oh, and if he can pounce on this, this is huge. Oh, he's going to pounce on this. This is huge. ACCM is actually done a really good job with his micro. But I don't think ACCM was expecting this. Oh my god, that micro though. Oh my god. I think Yo was looking for this with those scouts, not the archers. Oh my god, ACCM. ACCM, what a great play there. They went in with even numbers of archers. See, the key is ACCM doesn't want to have skirmishers at the start to Castle Age. He wants crossbows because crossbows can kill. So if Yo would have cleared that, Yo would be feeling fine. And look at that. Right after we see that engagement, ACCM adds a stable. And I think he's thinking that this will force Yo into skirmishers. And he's right. Yo is going to try Elite Skirm. Yo is on the way to Castle Age, 2 minutes away. So he's a minute behind. But ACCM with more ranged units, ACCM with the gold, and ACCM with a good idea here. Yeah, I guess, like, the reason you had scouts there, guys, is so you can take out the skirms. And that never happened. A couple scouts isn't going to do anything to archers. And yeah, okay, so Yo's checking. He's looking. He's also double house walling everything, which is super smart. And I think he wants to engage against this. But he doesn't know the stable's there. And I think even just one knight with the crossbows, and Yo has big problems. Yo might even back away just seeing the Castle Age is in. Yeah. Okay, we see a town center for ACCM to secure the gold. Yo probably needs to keep his army alive. And that's like the dumbest, most obvious statement I've ever made. But yeah, I mean, he's going to want to keep his army alive. Yo will have a lot of resources. Yo has 3 ranges. It does feel like he'll go Elite Skirm, and he could always go Cav Archers in the long term with the Tatars. But I mentioned it earlier when ACCM won with Cav Archers. You don't really want to be going Cav Archers if you're not faster to the next stage. Okay, ACCM. Double TC. Saracens destroy buildings very quickly. I would say choose this house if you're ACCM. But sometimes the house is a bit of a deterrent. You're like, it takes too long. Don't want to do that. Yo makes it to Castle Age with a super safe play. Didn't take any losses. Did have to leave a wood line. He's going to take that one. He's getting attack. He has Elite Skirm. He has a lot of Elite Skirms. And ACCM hasn't had a scout around, so I don't know if he really knows that there's that many. Oh my god. Oh, disaster for ACCM! Disaster! He's going to lose half his army here. He ran too far up the hill, and Yo is massacring him now. And one night would have looked good if they would have found those Feudal Age Skirms. But against Castle Age Skirms, and now that Yo could switch into Cav Archers, ouch. Yo is going to have full control now. Oh, this is so bad. He even tried to click to run this way and accidentally shot the Ostrich. Yo doesn't even care. Yo's like, I'll just run in after this. A lot of people could argue this is too much, but Yo doesn't seem to care at all. He's even just going to take out the Knight here. Cav Archers will be coming in behind, and ACCM. Good job to add the siege. Really good job to add the siege. The pros for ACCM would be he's been on 2 town centers for a bit, so his eco in theory is a little stronger. Also, did have Wheelbarrow, did have the wood upgrade. Both players have Horse Collar, so their ecos are pretty close in that regard. The poor Ostrich just keep getting shot. This guy's like all lonely without his friends now. And here we have the Cav Archers moving this way. We'll see if Yo can actually do something with that. It's going to be a little awkward for Yo. There's not a lot of space in between the 2 players, and it feels like anytime someone arrives to the other's base, there's going to be a hill for the defender. So like this here, oh man, that was so close to being bad for Yo. If the siege would have continued forward, it would have been a problem, but Yo is running back home. Yo aiming to hit the wood line. And no ballistics for either player, by the way. Now, that's something you see pretty frequently, but there's the university for Yo. The Tatars get 2 sheep from each new town center, so you get a bit of food. You don't need to transition into farms quite as quickly. And Yo is just going to hold to his hill. Guys, the biggest thing in this game right now is the military you have as your imping. And for Tatars, it's Cav Archers and Skirms. And for ACCM, it's usually Arbalest. So we're talking crossbow numbers. And then, of course, the numbers that Yo has, he's making exactly what he wants in the long run. Obviously, Saracens, could be Skirms. It's not like both these civs can't do other things, but you need to have those numbers. Siege obviously helps whittle down those numbers. The Knights can help too, but that's not really what you want with Saracens. I kind of wish Mameluke was a bit more meta, but no, Mameluke wouldn't do too well here, I don't think. Not against Skirm, not against Cav Archers. But Yo's kind of got to make a decision on if it's worth it to try and run in here. He's at least acting as if he's going to do that, but you can tell he's worried that he's going to lose this hill in the process. This could go either way, guys. No bloodlines for the Cav Archers, by the way, and now ballistics is in for ACCM. So his crossbows are not going to miss shots. Yo doesn't have ballistics yet. But that is a yet. And these CA should be able to get out of here. Oh, yeah, it's a good point. So I watched the video, actually, from Spirit of the Law, that Mamelukes should be better now. I guess to, like, swing back to that conversation on Mamelukes, at high-level play, it's really tough to justify just dropping a castle right away, because then your economy sucks. But I think you guys are right that if this game goes late, and you have time to tech switch into something else, the Mamelukes might actually be really good. Because I think skirms do nothing to them now, and I guess you would just have to worry about the cav archers. Or if we get lucky, the flaming camels. Oh, it makes me so antsy to see players with cav archers and not bloodlines. Because they either forgot it, or they're going to take a fight before they need it. I mean, this is... No bloodlines. A big shot could do something. And we've got hills on either side. Remember, Tatars do more damage when on top of the hill. Everyone does more damage when on top of the hill, but Tatars do a little bit more. And up the hill, shots. Yo takes out the siege, no problem. Yo has ballistics now, and it's those skirms that you got to worry about if you're ACCM. There's a big ball of cav archers chasing as well, so they're going to get kills. There's more lions, man. There's more lions. Now, the food eco is always a little deceiving for Tatars because I'm not sure how much of that is farmers, but Yo's farm count seems really high. And Yo will be happy with the position he's claimed. It's not the end of the world for ACCM if he loses this hill. I think this would be the hill that would end the game because his golds and stones are there. God, Yo, get bloodlines, please. I mean, he doesn't need it there. You should really have a bit more HP with your army here. Yo is taking control over this one. He's being a real pest with these skirmishers on a couple farms. I'd love to see a little bit more siege coming forward for him. It seems like he's making them. And Yo is looking set to take us to the 7th game. I mean, if he comes forward here and drops a castle and has a faster imp, there's not a lot that ACCM can really do here. An incredible comeback from Yo in this series. I just didn't think he had it today, guys. I didn't think that he had it today. Yeah, pros play off feel indeed. And again, the feeling, even with the new Mamelukes, is that it would have been a dying play here. Like, as strong as they might be against skirms, it still wouldn't have worked. But apparently Bloodlines isn't on the radar either. Yo, get Bloodlines. You're still taking good fights. You should have 70 HP on these cav archers. He's on the way to imp, but I'm worried. Lack of Bloodlines, man. Bloodlines make such a big difference. It makes such a big difference. Is he going to throw this? You see how he has... Let me try that again. You see how he has to back up? That's because he doesn't have freaking Bloodlines. If you're ACCM, though, you're happy about it. You do not pause to go to the bathroom or anything. You don't want Yo to be able to think about it at all. Yo is now getting scale barding armor. So that's going to be a switch maybe into something like Light Cav or maybe the unique unit, the Keshik. 0 relics, by the way, collected. Yo, I love his control, though. I love how he's got a Vil here. Outpost houses all along the extra golds. I think the best thing you can do with Tatars, the safest play with Tatars, is to go Hussar with the Cav Archers. Both of which need bloodlines. The reason I don't like Keshik is simply because of the fact it costs gold. And going double gold unit is a little awkward. So this is going late game castle, not a I'm going to kill with a faster imp castle. It's been a long series. But my God, the lack of bloodlines makes me want to scream right now. Look at them dying! Look at them dying, Mr. Yo! Yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he's probably like frustrated with himself because he should have Cav Archers alive right now. You know, has less population than ACCM, who's found his way to the Imperial Age, or will be in 2 minutes. And, oh, it's a big shot. Oh my God. Oh! Oh my God. Another one too? Oh my goodness. No, ACCM. ACCM. He's going to lose his whole army. Maybe now you make the switch to Mamelukes, because that hurts. I think he felt like, I can push this right now before he gets his upgrades and get a couple kills, but he didn't see the siege. And then he's just really hard to run away there when you have fast units around you. And now Yo's going for the kill. Now Yo says, okay, this is my time. Bracer's in now, and he's going to get armor as well, and he's going to have trebs that is going to go after ACCM's castle. I'm not sure what ACCM can do against this. Saracens do get bombard cannon, but you have to wait for chemistry to complete. And it's a very similar problem to what we faced, what he faced earlier, where Yo is just faster to the early siege. Only this time, there's not much ACCM can really do to raid or anything. His army composition is going to be crossbows and skirms. And yeah, Mamelukes is completely out of the question when you have one castle and you're likely going to lose that castle. So what you do here is I think you make your own trebs and just try and hit their trebs and hope for the best. He's going for conscription out of this castle, so he does actually have another one. This I wouldn't consider a trickle treb, right? Because your opponent doesn't have anything to combat your trebs. So this is good in this situation, small head. So the situation, as always, depends. And Yo knows, like, he's ahead in the treb war. His opponent wasn't even an imp. And he's got army to protect it. It would be a different situation if there were, like, tons of light cav or knights or something for ACCM to be able to combat the trebs. The tar trebs on the hill as well. I think they should be doing some more additional damage here. This also gives Yo a lot of time to make a tech switch. I think we're going to see more farms for Yo soon. More stables. I would love to see the light cav choice. We have rams for ACCM. I think he realizes that he's going to lose if he continues to sit here. And he's going to try and attack Yo's base. And honestly, this is an epic play. I really am curious to see how this plays out. We have Timorrid Siegecraft, which means you can make flaming camels, but also that your trebs get additional range. That's not cheap. And look at this from Yo. Yo's nothing to defend from this. This could be a Delt castle. He's getting chemistry now. He's just now completed the Castle Age armor. He doesn't have enough to stop this, but he is going to get the castle up. And he is going to go in for the fight anyways. I think this is where he loses all of his cav archers, though. Yo realizes this will be a treb war. And Yo cannot engage against that. That's why I really would have liked to seen the light cav switch from Yo. And we're seeing ACCM farm more in this back corner and try and get something out here. But these trebs, these Tatar trebuchets, I don't think they do more damage after that tech, right? I think it's just purely more range. So what a great addition from Yo there. The range is going to help. And he's still taking losses, but he's got such a good position, despite being behind in population, which is crazy. Obviously, all the buildings will start to go down for ACCM as well. If he loses this, he's not going to have more population anymore. He sees the skirms, and he knows that's bad news. Yo has a castle here. ACCM falling apart. Are we going to a game 7? I think we are. Chemistry was completed by ACCM, so he could make bombard cannons. He's got one here, but his army has now died. Yo has been able to stabilize a little bit more at home now. And we wait for the bombard cannons now, and we wait to see if Yo can make enough Keshiks. Keshiks would work if he's got enough of them. He's got 5. 5 of them is not a lot for Imperial Age. No way! The bombard cannon and the treb go down! That's what trebs can do, man. They're not 100% accurate. They'll land in different areas around your target. It's a frustrating feeling, let me tell you. But it's common that when there's 4 or 5 trebuchets, that could happen. We have heavy camel now. Saracens have great camels. Heavy camel's very strong choice against Keshik. But heavy camel can't really push up against the castles. And Yo having to deal with another sneaky army from ACCM, which I'm still really happy he did. If he didn't do that, he would have been focused on here and he would have been killed. But I think he still might be killed. I think we still might be going to a game 7, which is just tragic for one player and amazing for the next. Like, imagine, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, says the guy who always gets ahead of himself. The Keshiks engage. No attack upgrades on these Keshiks. It's not the prettiest fight ever, but the flaming camels! Boom, baby! Camels get countered by flaming camels. Who would have thought? Amazing. I didn't think we'd actually see flaming camels here. I think it's the first time in a 1v1 I've seen flaming camels utilized. And Yo now has the perfect unit comp. Cav Archer, flaming camel, and Keshik. Remember, you have to research the treb upgrade to also get access to the flaming camels. It's very inconsistent and weird, but it is how it works. And while there's not a lot of flame, and it seems like Capture Age doesn't know how to handle the flame, there are explosions. And Yo just won 3 straight. Yo just won 3 straight. What are we witnessing here? This is ridiculous, dude. This is ridiculous. You had people like, oh, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Yo or anything, but I'm just curious. I was like, was he playing other games recently? You playing AoE4 or what? And now Yo's like, hey, what up? I'm back, baby. That's insane. We're going to a game 7, and like I said, this is going to be painful for one and amazing for the next. If you're ACCM and you lose the next game, you just got reverse swept in a best of 7. Disaster, right? Absolute disaster. But if you win, it's like, whew. Oh, man, I learned some lessons there, and I'm still good. If Yo just won 3 straight to just lose game 7 anyways, he could have watched an entire freaking movie, dude. He could have just, like, chilled out and enjoyed the rest of his day without all this hard work. If you would have just rolled over in game 4 instead of fighting back. So I get so anxious in these situations because I know that on either side of things, there's so much emotion attached to it. I try and put myself in the player's shoes. And, I would not want to be in their shoes now. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's way more than playing 2 hours to die like this. It's been 3.5 hours now. 191 kills, 109 deaths. I think ACCM had a shocker Dark Age. Early Feudal was kind of rough. Yo, I mean, it went to Imp, right? It's not like it wasn't close. But with the exception of Yo not getting Bloodlines, he just seemed to be in the better spot. It was a great decision from him after taking that one fight against ACCM to place that next castle forward and go for the kill. ACCM had good eco. This was super close. ACCM actually collected more overall resources, which is wild because he barely left that corner, but didn't get the victory as we move on to game 7. And here we are. All right, guys. This is ridiculous. I can't believe we're here. We had 3 straight wins by ACCM to start off the day, and Yo has responded with 3 straight responses. Responded with responses? Yeah, that works. Yo is playing as the Incas. ACCM is playing as the Italians. This is no surprise to me. To break down the map, basically, you've got options, okay? So you've got the shorefish in the center, and this is a very fast source of food income. And then you've got the fish on the side if you wish to dock. Now, this is where it gets a little Oh, and I should say, sorry, there's also deer on the sides, but no one ever takes those until later. So the complicated thing here for ACCM is going to be the fact that there's an eagle out there for his opponent, and he only has a scout. So the eagle always wins the Dark Age War up against the scout, and eagles are pretty good at stealing stuff and attacking villagers, etc. So ACCM's got to keep an eye on that. The other thing, and I don't think Yo should steal this, by the way. ACCM's going to be waiting. I think he should know that. Is Italians have cheaper dock decks. They have cheaper fishing ships. And so they're just known for going to water. So if you go water as Italians, that's an opportunity, right? That's a plus. But the more I watch this map, the more I feel like taking the shorefish and being aggressive on land just does more. Like, the person who goes water is probably going to have... Oh, Yo's going for a Vil kill. Yo is going for a Vil kill, and he'll get it. He gets the villager kill. I cannot see the HP bar of this lady, but I hope she doesn't die for ACCM's sake. Oh, my God, dude. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if ACCM would have lost 2 villagers? That you could consider an even trade now. Actually, hold on a second. Does Yo remember his rhinos on the... Okay, all right, this is fine. Deep breaths. ACCM could steal that rhino. ACCM could steal that rhino. And Yo will regret trying to do what he just did. I think Yo is running out here to take it. I don't know if he scouted it. I have to assume it, like, walked around and he knows it's out there somewhere. I think he's looking, and ACCM didn't steal it. What if Yo assumes it's stolen? Or is he going to mill out here? Okay. Don't walk too far, Yo. barracks? Oh my god. Okay, let me finish my thought. I'm sorry, this is so complicated. So basically, the max fishing ships you're probably going to have in Dark Age to Early Feudal is probably 3. 3 or 4. You can maybe even do 5, let's say. But that's it. And while that's a lot, I feel like having land presence is able to do so much more because you're going to have tons of ills on wood, tons of ills on gold, and everything's so close. Okay, so I've concluded my thoughts on how I think things should be played. I'm not seeing ACCM going out to dock. And ACCM has seen the barracks now. Now, what would be kind of comical to me is if Yo just makes 1 militia and then he intentionally lures the crocodiles right to his opponent's base. But I think they're going to avoid the crocodiles. Those things will attack you. Is anyone else surprised that ACCM didn't try and take that rhino? His HP was low, so I guess if he lost the scout, it would have been painful. I'm not actually sure how much damage the boar would have done, or the rhino would have done with 2 hits. It would be really close, so maybe not worth the risk. Because then if he lost it, he wouldn't know about the barracks. But yeah, maybe I'm hoping for a little too much from him. But right now, ACCM is looking for the militia. He has a goat out here. And he did move the weak villager back underneath the TC. Smart. He's going to make a mill as well. Now, hopefully he remembers there's crocodiles there because you don't want to get attacked by those. He's got to loop around. Now he's getting hit and maybe even trapped on the wood line here. Okay, he doesn't get trapped. He does react now. It's not worth it for ACCM to come home at this point because Yo doesn't have a scout. So Yo doesn't know that this is the thing and Yo doesn't have loom. Yo is getting loom now. Yo could lose 2 vills before loom is in. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Procaster. Sheep's going to be stolen. Yo will like that. Yo has loom. This is stressful. Sorry, got to be a little more professional here. Yo's going to click up any moment now. And ACCM hasn't clicked yet. And he didn't commit to taking a fight there. I think he didn't check to see if he had loom. Because that would have been an easy Vil kill. That's twice now where maybe we could question a little bit of the indecision from ACCM. ACCM didn't have these sheep. But it is cheaper for him to go up to the next age. He just added a 3rd militia, guys. He needs to find value. And here he is. He's trying to deny the gold. But Yo has loom. And Yo might just quickly wall this in. And Yo is up. Like, much faster than the Italian player. And he's been able to bring his militia back. And he could even make a 3rd militia, which I think he'll do in just like 2 seconds. He's going to make a 3rd militia. Oh, God. And now we have ACCM being attacked by the crocodiles. It's falling apart. He won't lose a villager, but it delays him. He's falling apart. I think he knows Yo is up, and I think he wants to rush Yo with everything he's got. I think he's panicked, guys. He's made a 4th militia. He's going to gold to make more militia. Yo needs to defend from this, but he can't. He's got to bail now, and he won't have that food income. Keep in mind that if Yo doesn't get the Man-at-Arm upgrade, it is essentially Dark Age armies versus Dark Age armies here. And this is so messy. Okay, Man-at-Arms needs to come in for Yo. He added the range as well. He needs to get Man-at-Arms. He has no food income right now. ACCM is still Vil rushing. You need to get Man-at-Arms if you're Yo. But ACCM is never going to go up if his villagers are rushing. Yo didn't get the Man-at-Arm upgrade. Can't say that I agree with that. There's such a big difference between Men-at-Arms and between militia. But then again, you know, he's here and he's going to make archers. And they are looking at, like, they have similar armies at the moment. Also, Yo's farming a little bit. So he's diversifying. He's going to take the berries. And ACCM, guys, it's just not looking too hot right now, man. Like, he could possibly click up soon, but he doesn't have the amount of villagers on food yet. Yo just needs to be patient and micro and micro and micro. Here, okay, good fight for ACCM, actually. Takes out the militia. There's about to be 2 archers. Yo hasn't lost a villager yet. And now there's going to be 3 archers soon. ACCM still hasn't clicked. This could be the reverse sweep. This could be it. This could be the reverse sweep with 3 archers. A villager's down. That's the second one down in this game. Yo's got some weak ones too, but he has archer support. Oh, wait a second. ACCM gets one. Oh, man. It's just, like, what is ACCM going to make as a follow-up? What ACCM is going to make as a follow-up is range units. And Yo already has 4 range units. So there's just no... Like, skirmishers aren't that strong where you can make 1 skirm and be okay here. He just completely... He sensed that Yo was going to be up the feudal age faster, which is impressive, by the way. I don't know how Yo was able to basically make the same stuff and go up faster when it's more expensive for him. We have to look back at that, actually. But Yo just brought the impossible series back. It looked so bad for him after 3 games. And I now feel so horrible for ACCM. I mean, he's not going to quit anytime soon. I might change my tone soon as well. We don't exactly know. But if you don't have access to the shorefish in the middle and you have to farm and then you've lost all those villagers, it's going to be painful. Remember, ACCM could have maybe taken that rhino. Did have the scout. Missed out on these 2 sheep, which were maybe part of it. And Yo is loving life right now. I can't believe this, dude. I can't believe this. And you never want to see a player get reverse swept. It's so sad for them, especially in a best of 7. So for ACCM's sake, I'm hoping that this good map where he's got at least some safe gold could lead to some good things here. Now, I think this isn't GG yet because Yo didn't pressure this. That's something we have to maybe question from Yo. Had he taken the villagers off of shorefish, then I don't see how ACCM can ever go to Castle Age. But instead, he's pressuring other areas, which obviously is good. But this is actually bailing ACCM out a little bit. That said, Yo's got double ranges, and Yo can threaten the other areas. And it's 41 pop versus 32. Maybe right now what you can try... It's probably too risky, but I was thinking maybe you try and dock. Yo's docking now with the control, so he's adding fish. And Yo shows up to this mill. I just don't think he ever expected the villagers to still be out there. Oh, what a bad feeling. We will review some of this at the conclusion, but I'm just staring at this like... What a complete disaster for ACCM. And just clinical from Yo. The eagle killing the Vill, he could have almost killed 2. He fought all this time. He wasn't about to play 2 hours to die like this. Love how Yo's getting the wood upgrade, the farm upgrade. He's actually bringing these goats back now so we can take those. He's got the fish. He's got every single thing he'd want. He's all over the wood lines. The worker efficiency last minute is obviously lower, but the overall worker efficiency is at 69% for ACCM, whereas it's at 80% for the whole game for Yo. And Yo on point here. Yeah, it does actually get housed, but Town Watch isn't going to hurt. And now Yo knows there's a tower there. Okay, so that's something that Yo didn't know before. Apart from that, he knew everything. Positives for ACCM would be the fact that Yo can't go up to Castle Age and make knights. If Yo could go up to Castle Age and make knights, Yo would completely destroy all the villagers here. Downside is Yo can make eagles. Upside for ACCM is that he's going to kill a villager here. And it could be more as well, as he continues to reposition around to new shorefish. Yo will probably be like, whatever, who cares? I'll just add a skirmisher there as he took a decent fight on this side. Continues to deny the berries, which is actually a pretty big deal. And Yo now clicks up. And there's the barracks. Guys, I don't know, like, how many of you guys have played in an Age of Empires 2 tournament? I'm going to guess maybe like 2 people that are watching me right now. And so, you know, it's hard to explain if you've never done it, but like playing Age of Empires can be pretty anxiety inducing, right? It adds an extra element to the whole mindset thing and decision making because there's a little bit of pressure, right? And so when things are going right for you, it is fine. But when things go wrong for you, bringing yourself back from that is a really difficult trait. And what Yo has been able to do here, I mean, he was down 3-0. He could have easily said, easy pocket of what is it, 450 bucks, not my day. There's going to be tons of events. There's events all the time now. I'm a beast. My reputation's intact. Whatever. He could have easily just said that. And he just flipped a switch and figured it out. And then ACCM, he won 3 games. And for him, when it started to slip, really started to struggle. And this game, like, what made me so sad was to see that desperation, him running out towards the middle. But guys, he's up. He's up to Castle Age. He's got ranged units. It's 54 pop versus 56. He goes in for a counterattack, something that Yo saw. Yo's going to try and counter. The big worry here is not even about the archers. The big worry here for ACCM is the Eagles. It's the Eagles. It's the monks. It's all of that crazy stuff that Yo is about to upgrade. Actually, ACCM might be able to get an archer pick here. But now the Eagles are going to show up, so this whole army will die. Siege Workshop will definitely go up. Inca villagers also are affected by blacksmith upgrades. Infantry blacksmith upgrades at this stage of the game. So it's going to be hard to raid Yo. 5-2 eco KD. The villagers have to leave now. The concern I have for ACCM is like what type of food eco is he going to have for knights? And also the fact that Yo sees this tells me he'll just add a monastery, right? Seeing the stable is huge because now he knows there will be knights. This is still being chased down. Yo is pressured all the way in. If I'm Yo, I dive. He's not Castle Age yet. Just run in. Yeah, just run right in. He might even bring the archers too. I don't know about that. It's a little wasteful. But run into the eco. Poor ACCM, man. I think I'm good, but when I try ranked, I get spanked. Gotcha. Well, my point was, you know, on both sides of things, it's so impressive from Yo to be able to turn this around from just the mental perspective. And then also it's understandable why a player who had a big lead would then start to fall apart a little bit against a player like Yo when Yo starts to bring it back. It pains me to see this. You love the big moments. Don't know if you can even consider this a big moment for me just because of how painful it is for ACCM. I feel so bad for him. He had beaten Doubt with amazing resilience in a 3-2 game, a 3-2 set, and now he's just dead. Yo is one of the greatest of all time. He's easy top 4 lock-in over the last 10 years. This guy's incredible. And this is like one of the best tournament results for Yo, all things considered, man. How did he do this? 4 games in a row against a player like ACCM is nuts. I figured even if he was the better player over the course of those 4 games, that he would at least lose one because of a Civ matchup, because of a map, because of a misplay. But yeah, 51 eco versus 25. If this was game 1, ACCM might have considered calling it. It's game 7. He's going to continue to try. But this is well and truly over. Second town center for Yo. Ugh. The Eagles, I think they're missing squires. They're a little slow right now. But the Eagles and the Siege should be enough to pressure the crossbows. It is the correct play for ACCM at this point to just continue with crossbows. He doesn't really have the economy to mix in anything else. Also doesn't have the stable, so he couldn't even make a knight. But I'm really curious on what happened economically before ACCM started to send all of his vills out. Because Yo was up, and it didn't look like it was realistic for ACCM at all. And Yo didn't farm, and Yo didn't take berries. So I actually need to look back at that. I think it might have had to do with it missing the 2 goats. Like, I mean, 200 food seems like that was maybe the difference. Yo doesn't need to take super cost-effective engagements because he has such a big lead. He's going to bring some siege forward now. He's going to get relic number 2. Still 2 town centers producing villagers, whereas it's 1 for ACCM. And, oof. You got a shot there from Yo. Good split from ACCM. Micro should be good at this point. He doesn't have a whole lot else to look at either. And Yo will have fully upgraded Castle Age Eagles. Again, I'm just not sure if Squires is in. I think I saw Arson, though. So most likely... Yeah, I think he's got Arson. He's destroying that barracks really fast. You think ACCM killed his Rhino, like with the TC or something? Something was up, but he was down 3 goats. But even still, 2 Rhinos... I guess maybe he didn't push deer. I don't know. I need to look at it. It's only, what, 410 food to go feudal? I mean, great patience from Yo, by the way, to just not engage at all. And ACCM gives him the GG good luck next. Respect to him for that, obviously. And Yo does it, dude. I don't know if I should be excited for Yo or sad for ACCM or both. Pretty much both at this point. But Yo with the reverse sweep. Sorry, what did I do here? Yo with the reverse sweep. Capture H! What the? Hey, there we go. Wins 4 straight games. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. Keep in mind that you don't pick the civilizations for yourself in this tournament. So I think it's even crazier to respond with 4 straight when your opponent selected your civs. Granted, I mean... Respect ACCM. He also received the civs from Yo for the first 3 games, but it was like 2 completely different players from games 1 through 3 for Yo, for games 4 through 7. Gutted for ACCM, but winning wouldn't feel good if losing didn't feel bad, I guess. The highs and lows of competitiveness. Yo moves on to the final. He will face the winner of Jordan and Velez. That was insane. We'll quickly... Actually, no, I don't even want to look at that. I want to go back, and I want to see what went down. So did anyone tell me... Did anyone tell me how much damage a scout... I can't speak. I'm sorry. My emotions are all over the place. Did someone tell me how much damage a Rhino or a Boar does to a scout with 2 hits? Because there was an opportunity, maybe around... here where he could take this, right? Now, obviously, he loses some HP. He goes down to 23 HP or 26. But I see this, and my instinct is to take that. This is less than half HP. Okay, well, that's not specific, but I mean, it might be close, right? Now, let me think about this. So he's going to bring in this Rhino. I think everything goes fine. That's fine. He obviously lost the Vil, which hurt a little bit. He's going to bring in this Rhino, too. So it wasn't the Rhinos, but he didn't scout his own goats. Maybe he assumed they were stolen. So minus a Vil, minus 3 goats, because I think he forgets about this one. Let's see. Okay, so he's going to the middle. Yo was on Shorefish a little earlier. Because this was reactionary. Remember, he adds the barracks as a reaction. Checking. Keep checking, keep checking, keep checking, keep checking. Okay, still, at this point, Yo hasn't even gone to berries yet. Yo's got 5 on food. There's 4 here. Got the reaction. He did leave 100 food on that Rhino. And he didn't take that. And yeah, there was a goat, which Yo ended up stealing. Did he steal it yet? I'm lost. Yeah, Yo stole this goat, and then there's these 2 goats, and that's probably the difference. If he has that food, he's able to click up. Even still, though, Yo's uptime is ridiculous. Yo's uptime is absolutely ridiculous here. Like, all things considered, the fact that Yo can click up at this time after that is amazing. So, props to Yo. Yo didn't have... Well, do we have to credit the fact that Inca started with a free llama now? I mean, that's plus 100 food. Maybe the llama made the difference. If Yo wasn't Inca's, he can't do this. Because he also didn't have 2 goats. That's just incredible macro from Yo, I guess. He's keeping his villagers working all the time. And, well, there you have it. That's the end of the series. I will go and show the statistics for this game. We knew it was over for a while. I hope that was a treat for everybody who watched. I imagine when this is in video form, people are going to be really confused by the video length. Yo had more wood, food, and gold. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Yo moves on to the final. And if he can play like he played the last 4 games against either Jordan or Velez, whoever wins the next semi, he's going to be in good shape.